Yo, what's really good?
What's good?
Back again, another episode of What Did We Just Watch?
And what did we just watch?
Like always, it's your boy Evan.
What up, it's Bobby.
And it's a Pota!
And we got another episode for you today, and as you can read, the movie we're doing is fucking basically The Happening, a remake of The Happening, Birdbox.
Called The Birdcage.
Right? That's all I thought was The fucking Happening.
We literally when I first watched it, we're like, it's this movie, and this movie all combined. Like, it's a bunch of movies.
You don't know how to fire up a fucking joint.
Excuse me?
You don't know how to fire up a
Do you
Derek?
know
I don't know how to fucking hit it in time.
You don't know how to fire up a Derek. But yeah, but dude, all I thought was this is the fucking Happening. G-Shit was like the exact same shit.
Yeah.
The wind comes, makes people commit suicide, but they were just blindfolded this time.
Yeah. These people are smart and like, oh, why don't we just cover our eyes?
Yeah, they figured that out very, very quickly.
The Happening took the entire movie and not one person covered their eyes. That one was more
really
oxygen.
It was just
It was like
That
they're
was
breathing
like
it in.
you can kind of feel like
But
Mother Nature.
This one was seeing it.
Regardless of the Happening, but what you were, it's true. Like they did find out that you can't look at the thing, whatever.
No matter what.
No matter what, like
just
not
cover
through
the-
cameras, not through
Alright,
cameras,
we're
not
getting
through.
way too far ahead for
Holy
that.
shit!
But,
Holy
so let's
fuck.
just go. I'm just gonna go and give a synopsis there. We'll just go start there. But yeah, man, like
I saw it pop up on Netflix maybe about like a week or two ago.
Yeah. See, I didn't see that, but I just heard everybody talking about it. All these memes and all their shit.
I knew about it when it was being made because I'm a fan of MGK, so I saw him. He was doing three. But it was like last year, or that was like a year and a half ago.
MG fucking K is in this movie.
Oh yeah, another spoiler alert. If you're listening to this and not expecting spoilers, spoiler alert, you're an idiot. Alright, guys.
Yeah, this is all spoiler. Yeah, no, so I knew about that because he was doing a couple movies in 1 year, so I knew he was doing. I knew he was doing a movie with Sandra Bullock and all that, like this whole thing, but I didn't know what it was about and anything.
Well,
but
we sure as fuck
all right,
do.
so
but yeah.
Okay, so Birdbox. When a mysterious force decimates a population, only one thing is certain: if you see it, you die. The survivors must now. Hold on, I'm fucking reading it. How are you gonna pass me the joint? I'm reading the mid.
Like he didn't know you were reading it. He can
hear
you.
What else is going on right now?
Like he just because he wasn't looking. He wasn't looking at you. He's like,
okay, hold on.
I didn't mean.
All right, the survivors. No, the survivors must now avoid coming face to face with an entity that takes the form of their worst fears. Oh, I wouldn't have guessed like it was that until I read this.
Me neither.
No, I didn't.
Worst fears.
I was getting it like towards the end. I was catching
But
up.
she says, "Mom, I guess that one girl was."
See,
scared.
that's what I was going for.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Searching for hope and new beginning, a woman and her children embark on a dangerous journey through the woods and down a river to find the one place that may offer sanctuary. To make it, they'll have to cover their eyes from the evil that chases them and complete the trip blindfolded. Okay.
Down the river and through the woods to Grandma's house we go.
Yeah, and like. Okay, and then the director Suzanne Baer, I want to say. She has no other noteworthy movies that, if I mentioned, wouldn't matter at all.
Nothing even
remotely close.
Nobody
Tom
would.
Cruise movie?
No, it's not. But I see what's his name.
It's Bradley Cooper.
I see Bradley
Serena?
Cooper in one. Yeah, but other than that, no. So.
Nobody cares anyway.
But yeah, okay. Let's just get into this fucking movie. It was longer than a fuck.
It was
like
long.
2+ hours.
Was.
What's it say? Does it say it on it?
Yeah, but I exited it out.
I watched like you
like
see
2+.
2 hours and 4 minutes or however what it is.
Yeah, it was like a 2 hour.
There, and I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Some go fast, some take. This one took forever.
It was good in the beginning, and then it just
it slowed down.
Yeah.
All right, let's just fucking go straight into it. So it opens up with like radio talk, and it's like just like a sky view over some river. And nice name of the movie. Title card comes up, then it's just a fucking zoom in on Sandra Bullock's face, and she's just like talking to the camera. She's taking up the full screen, and then we start getting a little exposition. She's like, she's talking to somebody. She's like, you can't take off your blindfold, or she will hurt you. She's not playing around. Like she's not playing around at this time. And then she's like, no talking, only listening, and if you look, you will die. And that's basically what we have.
She's
so far.
just like screaming at him.
Yeah,
like,
she's just listening, and we find out she's talking to kids. She's talking to these children. So she goes, she grabs birds from a cage, puts them in a shoebox, and then they leave with blindfolds on. And then they start walking. You know, she has like a whole thing set up. You know, she's fucking following lines. You know, that she has like tripwires fucking like all along. You know what I'm saying?
She's yelling at the kid. She's like,
Yeah.
if you do not listen to me, I will hurt you.
Yeah,
like she like, screams at him. She's like, I will hurt you.
She's like, but then
then she calls him boy and girl.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Super weird. That's the first time you hear
She
it.
did not
Oh, I
give
didn't even
them
notice
names.
it then.
Oh,
literally, that opening scene, she's like, boy, girl. Yeah, she literally calls him boy,
Like,
girl.
what are they, fucking dogs?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Good
notice
boy,
that
good
then.
girl. Yeah,
Oh,
since
shit.
off rip.
Okay, so So she knows her way around without looking, and then they get to a boat, and they get on a river, and then they start rowing. I don't get how she could have a point of reference in this, but I guess it just takes her downstream.
It's literally just
So
when it gets rough, you get on the oars and just try to stay.
The radio guy said. Eventually, you find out.
Yeah.
But I guess you just try to stay. When it's smooth, you just coast and let it ride, and then when it's like rough. So then it cuts to it goes down the river, and then it cuts to 5 years earlier.
Oh yeah, 5 years earlier.
When it all starts, and it cuts to Sandra Bullock character Melanie. Was it Melanie?
Yeah, Melanie, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Melanie. So then it goes to Melanie painting. She's pregnant. She's painting like a fucking portrait or some shit. And then another lady walks in and starts talking to her, and then just going to
an actress that I've seen in.
Yeah, she's in a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, she's in American Horror Story.
Yeah, another shit too. And then they do the cliche thing where the sister comes in, she starts talking about an incident that's happened, turns on the news, it's exactly talking about the exact story.
As soon as the TV comes on,
literally.
But on top of that, I said something to you when we were watching it too.
Just like if it was staged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when you're sitting in your fucking room and you're on your bed or some shit, and you're trying to fucking change a channel, and there's like one little thing sitting on your dresser that blocks the little fucking sensor, and the TV won't fucking turn on. She literally just grabs the remote next to her and she goes, boop, hits the power button, walks across the room, you hear the TV on, starts moving paintings and shit, and then uncovers the TV and like rolls it out. How the fuck did that TV even turn on?
Fucking science.
And then of course she turns it on, and every channel she flips through is news and showing exactly what's going on.
And then we learn that people are like committing suicide and
mass
shit like
suicide
that for no
like
reason.
Tens of thousands.
Yeah.
In Russia.
In Russia, yeah.
She cuts it off. She's like, it's in Russia. Who gives a fuck?
She hits mute. She hits mute and turns around and goes, who cares? It's in Russia. And then in the background it shows it going across the Bering Strait.
It's like another cliche.
As soon as she turns, it's in Russia. Who cares?
Just turn the TV off if you don't want to listen.
Or
but then just cut. Just in case there's an audience looking over my shoulder, I'll mute it instead.
And then turn around, and then you see like a little arrow go from the end of Russia through the Bering Strait, like over to Alaska, and it spreads across Alaska, like through Canada, United States.
And thank God we figured out she's an artist, because it really comes into play for the rest of the movie. I literally forgot until right now that she was an artist.
I know.
It's supposed to maybe portray that she's creative. I mean,
she's not creative at all.
That fishing line was creative.
It's a fly fishing reel rod.
Right, but using it the way she did.
Do you realize she was with the guy who just came out of the Iraqi?
Yeah, it was, but we'll give her that.
The guy she was
with. Would you have thought of it?
Yes.
No.
It's the first thing I would have thought of was rope to fall in.
Have.
That's the first thing you think of. Hey, how do I know where I was just at?
Maybe I can't see.
Rope to get there.
Where do they do that anywhere else? They put a fucking guide rope. You go cave diving, guide rope. Anyway,
I'm saying I would, but you wouldn't.
Oh, nice. All right. So apparently Sandra Bullock's like a shut-in artist, and she's pregnant, but she's scared to be a mom, and like she's considering adoption and all that shit. She's just really nervous. She has like prepartum depression or whatever, right?
Yeah, right.
But
and then so sister's like, oh, how you getting a doctor? She talks about her man that left her, blah blah blah. How you gonna get to the hospital? Oh, I'll go. No, don't worry. I'll take you. No, I don't need anybody to take me with all this bullshit.
Independent woman.
Independent. I don't need anybody. My man left me, but whatever. So.
They hop in the car and slide.
Her sister ends up taking her anyway. They hop in their whip and then driving. They get to the hospital and they walk around and everybody's just on their cell phones. Everybody's rustling and bustling, getting around.
And then the camera pans in on this one
girl
woman
sitting on the railing.
Nothing happens though. But
they zoom in on her face as she as they walk by and they all just look at her and then
she gets a whole frame of herself.
They get her her outfit and everything zoom, get all close to her.
Keep an eye on this one.
Make sure you remember that one. Make sure you remember the girl in the orange. Make sure you remember the girl in the orange fucking velvet jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Her fucking bodysuit.
Looking like Kill Bill.
Yeah.
So they go in, they do like
ultrasound.
They do the ultrasound.
Nice ass fake baby stomach, by the way. That shit was so bad. It was trash.
It was.
It literally looked like it was attached to her. It looked like her laying in a bed and then like a thing. Yeah, it was fondant. It was like made out of fondant.
But yeah, so we meet the doctor, and she doesn't want to know the.
She's
sex,
in a bunch of movies too.
I know.
The doctor.
She doesn't want to assume the baby's gender.
Yeah, because she doesn't want to assume it's a zer.
Congratulations. It's a zer.
That was so nice.
Oh my god.
So she goes, you sure you don't want to fucking know the baby's gender? She's like, no, I don't want to know.
Are you sure you don't want to assume the baby's gender? No.
So yeah, she asks her that. She says no. And then her and her sister are like, whatever, they start making jokes. And she's like, oh, we'll celebrate with a bottle of wine or something. And then the doctor's like, I don't think that's smart. She's like, we're just joking. I mean, that mean like a little tiny glass.
Yeah.
She's like, next time you shouldn't maybe say the words like bottle and something else.
I still don't know if she was joking or not. I think they were.
She
really
was sipping
chugging a bottle of
fucking
wine.
straight scotch
Well,
later
that was
on.
when the world was ending. Okay, you sip a fucking. I'll give you that. I'll give you one. You know what I mean? But yeah. So after that, they start walking out. Back to their car from outside, and then. Well, the daughter, the sister goes to get the car running. And
Sandra Bullock, no, she starts. They cut to her puking in a bathroom.
Okay.
Remember?
Okay.
It cuts to her. She's like, all right. Well, she goes, no, you guys are making all these jokes, but next week, in a week or two, you're gonna be up. We're all gonna be upstairs. You're gonna be in a lot of pain. It's not gonna be so funny, and blah blah blah. And that's when she gives her the pamphlet for adoption. Like maybe you don't really want to have a kid, so. There's people that do, so here, maybe think about adoption since you're, like, so nonchalant about this fucking kid. You don't even care.
I missed this part.
She's like, didn't even have, like, a name or doesn't think of anything, didn't even care if it's a boy or girl. So she's like, you obviously don't care. You're talking about drinking. So it's like, here, give the baby up for adoption. So then a hard cut to, like, feet and, like, legs crouched down by a toilet and Sandra Bullock puking. And her sister's knocking on the door, like,
Dying.
are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. She's like, are you puking? Like, older sister. She's like, are you puking? She's like, no. She's like, is it chunky?
Oh my God.
And she's like, shut up. She's like, no, whatever. She's like, just go to the car. I'll be fine. Like, I'll be there in a second. Like, I just gotta, like, get ready. Sister's like, you sure? Blah, blah, blah. Leaves. Starts walking. And then you notice everybody in the hallways, like, doctors running by. Like, people
it's
are fucking.
eerie.
People freaking out. Like, whatever. You walk across the whole hospital, you see shit. Like, people walking around, like, all fast. But they're fucking dipping. Next thing you know, she has to cross that same Skyway bridge over to the other side of the hospital. Right where they saw that girl the last time on the phone, and guess what she's doing?
Smashing her face in the window!
She dips, and then Sandra Bullock sees it.
by herself.
Yeah. Sister dips to go to the car.
this woman
Sandra Bullock comes out,
smashed her head.
and everybody's freaking out. And then fucking cuts to out of nowhere. They're like, oh, and you're smashing in the background. Looks over, it's the same girl just standing there in the same little orange fucking suit.
First off, how long was she standing there for?
There's like blood and...
Like, she went through a whole ultrasound procedure. Like, the woman was just standing there and just now started smashing her head.
Yeah.
And then she smashes her head, there's blood everywhere, and then she decides to turn around and look Sandra Bullock dead in the eyes.
And it'd be convenient for the story that it happened right after she got the ultrasound done.
Yeah. So, and then, so she gets out, she hops in the car, and she tells her sister what's up, and like, let's fucking slide. So
then you hear like police sirens
police
and
are
crazy
coming in
shit.
hot. And they
Everybody's
dip out.
running out of the hospital.
Mm-hmm. So they dip out in the whip, but I'm thinking, why did this thing decide to affect everybody right now all at the same time?
It just stopped right in the middle of the hospital. Just started right there.
It wasn't
not
like
there,
in a
right
zombie,
there.
It's
But
a gradual fucking like progression. Like, okay, there's one, then there's two. It's like it's zero, then everybody.
because it's just like, it just goes through, and then everybody who happened to be outside, if you're outside looking out, it just it's like a cloud. It just it's like a wave. So it's like a wave just goes by, and everybody in that area just like instantly like.
Look at that.
You don't even have to be near it. They're like inside the house, and it's like goes by outside, and you're just like.
But then
because
some
people are affected differently.
That's what I don't even get to. I want to get.
I
to
feel
that.
like it's a
But
mental
how did
illness
that
thing.
Girl, how did the woman the phone woman smashing her face? She see it, but not anyone else around her. Where did she see it?
Well, remember she was just sitting there facing the window, just chilling on her phone, like talking. Everybody else is walking back and forth, so maybe it went by.
That's truth.
Straight.
I'm gonna spit on my computer, you fuckface.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe everybody else was walking by, didn't notice it.
Yeah. All right. Good. That makes sense. So they hop in the whip, and Sandra Bullock's going off like, yo, let's fucking dip. And then her sister is like, oh my god, she's like really overwhelmed. And then all of a sudden, her fucking eyes, glaze over, and then she starts to try to kill them. She runs off and she smashes
She
into
gets sad, says like something. What'd she say?
Gnarly, yeah.
But she says
They
something
flip.
because like
Oh,
she
yeah,
knows.
that's what Fuck, what the fuck does she say? She starts talking about.
She's like, yeah, she talks about this. She was.
Oh no, she's like, you're gonna come to my house. You're gonna stay with me. We're just gonna
No,
go
not
straight
that
to-"
shit.
Yeah.
Like when she's already fucking.
Right when the thing
already
got her sister. Remember,
She's
it got her sister.
already
No, she's like, oh my god, what is that? And then her
Her
eyes turn, and then she gets this different look on her face.
But what she said, because I remember the one girl said, "Mom," like whatever. People
That's
say
what
like
I'm
their
saying.
worst
The shit
fears.
they
Like
say is weird.
I forgot what she
They don't
said.
sound like the worst fears to me
no,
at all.
The lady saw her mother.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and
if
Sandra
I didn't
Bullock
read
at
that
one point,
synopsis,
It was
Tom
hearing
was
Tom.
calling out.
Like, come here, yo.
Exactly. That was her. Oh, Tom. Was Tom
Or
her
was it the
ex-husband?
No, they just
It was
random.
Tom. Yeah, random dude.
Yeah, it was Tom on the thing, like
When she was at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I thought.
Yeah. So the car gets flipped,
Weird.
And then they both crawl out. They both survive, and then they're standing up, and the sister gets up, and she's looking dead at Sandra
Bloody
Bullock.
face,
and
eyes crazed.
Yeah, she's just looking crazy, dead stare.
Takes like a step back.
And then a fucking garbage truck comes in and smashes her. And
Then the garbage truck just immediately explodes.
yeah.
And then the car next to it explodes, and then car on the other side of the street. I'm like, how are these cars just fucking exploding?
People are combustible.
Yeah.
Apparently, you look at this fucking jelly fucking monster that floats through the air, and all of a sudden you're like, shit starts blowing up. Like,
And apparently it's very pretty.
nobody was crashing, nobody was doing anything. Like, it was just cars on the side of the road just
some
blowing
people
up.
are affected and some aren't. It
Yeah,
still
later
doesn't
on
make
I
there's-
don't
sense.
get how people are infected.
There's people
sometimes.
cruising
Because
around,
right there,
chilling.
Sandra Bullock was exactly where the fucking sister was.
But she was, like I said, remember?
She was
Because
there.
no,
Her sister
because
was driving.
right before she said it, she's like looking, saying, remember, she's like, "Oh, come to my house," blah blah. She goes, "Maybe you should pay attention to the road." And her sister goes, "Okay." Looks at the road, and Sandra Bullock is like looking away, and that's when it happened.
Damn.
Saw her die.
So yeah, so she dies, and
Yeah,
then
she got
gets
misted by that garbage truck. Remember, she got hit. It's
Yeah.
like just missed.
Up, and then so she's running, and it's like a whole mob of people, and she trips.
ST.
And yeah, she's on the floor. Then this woman on the house in the corner, she gets out of her house and she comes down to try to help her. But when she does, she sees the shit. She turns over and starts talking about her mom, and then casually walks into a car that's on fire, gets incinerated, and then it explodes. And that turns out to be John Malkovich's wife. And then
Yeah, because they're running. Because remember, he's the neighbor.
Yeah.
So he was running from his house to his neighbor's house, and that's when she's like, turns and pans. It's like. I remember, like, the house is, like, upstairs and shit, like, off to the
it's
side.
really up.
So it's, like, up there, and they're running from yard to yard, and she's up there, and she, like, turns, he's like, "Come on, let's go." She goes, "She's pregnant!" And it
Yeah.
pans over, and there's, like, 100 people running through the streets, and you see Sandra Bullock just on the ground.
Yeah.
It's like, how does she know she's pregnant? Like, a lady just got knocked out, she's like,
I was like, what?
"My woman senses just went off. She's pregnant! I
Because
gotta
I
go!"
couldn't tell she was
Well,
pregnant until they
he
said
didn't
something.
say that.
No,
He just
she
No,
did.
she did. He goes, "Let's go, get in the house." She goes, "She's pregnant."
Yeah.
That's when she turned.
Like, that's her reasoning.
Yeah,
Oh.
and she
Yeah.
turned, and that's when she ran down to the street to help Sandra Bullock.
saw the belly.
No, it was hard. I couldn't even tell.
Well, it panned from their perspective down to the
Yeah,
street.
it
And there was
was
like,
Wasn't even that
she was
much
like 20
pregnant.
yards away.
There was like
Wasn't
30
that far pregnant
yeah.
either.
I don't think so.
No, because yeah,
Because there's-
it
yeah.
took her a while to fucking have that kid.
We
yeah,
don't know how
but
much
the
time
perspective
passed.
where they were, how far
Yeah,
they
it
were,
was
you
far.
couldn't tell that lady was pregnant.
Far.
And they were running from. They literally happened to be running from their house. Like, how did she happen to just see her randomly?
Yeah.
Like, she's
A
pregnant.
lot of people fell. Yeah,
There was
it's
like 40 people running across the street.
Yeah.
People were getting killed and
Yeah.
blood exploding and shit. She's like, "Wait, that lady's pregnant." So
yeah,
she dies.
That's John Malkovich's wife, and then another dude comes up behind Sandra Bullock, picks her up, and then they all run to the house.
And then you see the cadet girl running by, and she just happens to remember.
Yeah,
she
so-
happened to skirt out because I see like
the
remember I was like,
slide
oh, I
in,
knew
yeah.
characters earlier.
Yeah. So now it's a whole bunch of people in the crib, including fucking MGK,
Yeah.
and then it's the dude from Get Out, and Malkovich is fucking tripping
Get Out.
on Sandra Bullock. Yeah, it's the Get Out dude.
Who?
What, isn't the fucking dude that works at the fucking grocery store?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I forgot.
Charlie.
his name.
Get Out dude.
Charlie in this movie.
Charlie
yeah.
in this movie.
Charlie. So yeah, they all start talking, and they only speak in like fucking pronouns. That's a pronoun, right? It's a pronoun, right? It.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
it's- yeah.
the
It,
thing.
and they don't attempt to describe it at all, but they keep saying it.
Yeah,
If
they
that means
never.
that they
No
look
one ever
to
said
know that
what it
it's an
was.
It, because it seems to be just fucking wind.
It's something.
But it's something.
Yeah, it's not an it. It's not a
something.
thing.
It's
I
something.
don't know what it is.
But you
Yeah,
can't
but
call
I
it
mean-
an it.
It can't call it an it, right? Like
I know what you're
would.
saying.
What would you call it?
I
Like the
don't
thing.
know.
I'm like,
They
yo, the
didn't see
thing.
it.
Whatever the thing is out there.
But if
Like
you see
yeah,
it,
the
you die.
thing.
the
Like,
shit, the
so-
stuff.
So pretend
whatever it. So then, how did they know it was something? Because people were just running around killing themselves. Hold on, people were just running around killing themselves.
That's
And it's a
Nobody
clear.
saw
It's like
anything.
I
yeah.
understand what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody saw. to
And
us,
if you saw it, you're dead. So nobody.
Exactly.
You can't see it
you can't
to.
even have. It's like a paradox.
You don't know
Well,
what
I'll
it
try and
is.
Describe it.
You just know
because-
somebody looks somewhere and they die.
Exactly.
Hold on. So right when Malkovich's wife killed herself,
I'm just laughing about how fucking retarded this movie is, and us just thinking.
he spit all over himself.
He literally mid chugging a beer, he laughs straight into the beer and just sprays back in his face.
All right, go on.
When Malkovich's wife killed herself. Right before,
It's funny.
She
I wrote
said-
it the entire time as Malcolm.
What did she say?
Yeah,
She's
me
like,
too.
Really? Did you write it
Mommy,
as
is
Malkovich?
that you or
Yeah,
whatever?
yeah, that's something like that.
So she was talking to something.
exactly.
So-
exactly.
And then she
When
said
Sandra
she
was
said her
like-
mom.
So that's what they were referring to as an it. She was like she was
Hold
talking
on.
to
Okay,
something.
let me think of it. Okay, I'm just trying to think of this is like a fucking. Okay, the
And
woman.
the sister, before she died,
She
she's
said
like,
something. Okay, hold on. The woman
we
was
forgot
looking. She was looking the opposite direction of Sandra Bullock,
Yeah.
right? She's
Correct.
looking up, but then John Malkovich
Is behind her, looking
directly
at her.
behind, so he
should have
to
been.
seen.
He looked.
He was yes. He would have to have seen whatever it was.
exactly. So there's an it.
But or he had to have died because he never was like I saw something because he
Did he just run in the house? Because then when they
saw
He just saw what was going on.
But if he saw some, he was looking in the direct.
He didn't run away when his
eyeline
wife-
perspective as
Yeah.
the wife, but the
Right.
wife died and he didn't. So
Right.
either he's impervious to it.
No,
Or-
Because he never got it. Even he looked
He
at the
didn't
dude's
get
eyes
it.
later on, and
Only
he
got it from a fucking looking at a damn video. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like,
NCIS.
But
did
it was gunning for him though. That's why. Like
It's
he was
not-
looking at him for a while, and then it's like, oh, he's looking. Let me go for him.
but still, what is he? What is it? Only one person looks you at a time, then you kill
Yeah,
yourself.
the demon was trying to take the wife. Not
One
him.
at a time.
I mean, there's demons all around.
That's what I mean, I don't fucking. It's if you look at it.
I don't know.
All right, so whatever.
This is like an
story, Evan.
This is literally M. Night Shyamalan movie. Like I feel like he made this movie because it just doesn't make
stupid.
sense. Like it just fucking.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, let's move on. So yeah,
Oh
we're.
my
Oh
God.
fuck. Keep going.
Okay, so yeah,
They're at the crib.
They get in the house.
Yeah, okay, so we're in there. They all start talking about the pronoun bullshit. Yeah, then there's a woman in there, and she decides to leave all of a sudden, right? She's in there, and then she's like, no, I'm going to leave, and she storms out. I thought that was going to play a significant part in the
Wait,
movie,
what?
and then it just... there's no...
Which lady?
Nobody... We just meet everybody in the room, and then it's like, all of a sudden, it's these people...
Oh,
like,
it was
we're
a
going-
husband and wife, and
Yeah.
they're all trying to call, and then like, hello,
just
hello,
goes.
and they're talking to their kids on the phone. The phone like you hear, like
Yeah.
weird, like they're getting demonized and shit. And then all of a sudden they're like, our kids, we have to leave, and they're like, you're gonna die if you go out there. And they're like, all right,
We don't even... we don't
even know where MGK is.
That scene could have been erased, and nothing would have changed in the whole movie.
Two main characters
why
in the
was
movie
it-
just disappear, and you you're just like,
Doesn't
all right,
make any
looks like they're apparently they're dead.
So okay, so
Bye-bye.
and then the Get Out dude starts talking about some like religious rapture bullshit. And
He immediately knows what the fuck this is.
yeah,
He's already writing a book about this, and before
about
it even
the world
happened,
ends, but not exactly what
Not
happened.
exactly, but
but
yeah.
then he's like, he's like, the girl asked him, "Oh, you learned this in college? You studying it?" He's like, "Nah, I get it from the internet." So he's he's played off to be like
Which
some
led me to think that this movie should have been revolved around him because he knew what the fuck was going
yeah,
on.
why'd he get
We're
murdered? Why?
talking some rapture. What? I don't fucking know what the fuck. I just zoned out.
No, he was whatever he said. It was
He had
right.
everything planned. He had a grocery store on lock. He had a
Yeah.
book written about it already.
Yeah, Malkovich was right at that part. They should have stayed.
So
Or just
yeah.
go back and get everybody and come back. Post up.
Okay, so Sandra Bullock's all frantic and trying to talk on the phone. And the dude that saved her comes up and tries to talk to her and see if she's okay. And to me, it felt like he was coming on to her.
He's
right
like,
there.
yo, you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. You good? You sure? You're sure? He's like,
But the way he
I think you have a
screamed
concussion.
around-
I think you have
Yeah,
a
but
concussion. He's like being weird. Like,
yeah, like it made me think like, dude, give
he's
me
like, no.
some
He's like,
space.
you have a concussion. You have a concussion. You're not good. You're not good.
Yeah.
You got a concussion. It's like, what are you
Like,
trying to do? Trying to take me in the room and like,
imagine if he wasn't this like tall, good-looking dude,
Fit
that
ass
just-
dude, yeah.
like, imagine
Military
if there was some
guy.
weird ass guy, like, hey, hold on, you need to lay down.
a
Come
fat
down.
slobby guy,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like gross as shit. Like, hey, you're right. You have a concussion. Let me take you in the back room and put some ice on your head and chill out with you real quick. Just happens to be a good-looking dude. And they're like, oh, he's being a nice guy. He's checking up on the pregnant lady.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
So, yeah, so-
Just because it's a good-looking dick doesn't
Yeah.
mean it's a fucking. He's doing
He's
right things
normal.
about it. Like what?
So-
Like what the fuck?
So she starts talking about what happened in the car and like all this bullshit and.
Talking about her sister and
And
all
then
that.
how the woman that died when she got she burned herself alive in the car. And Malkovich is, of course, eavesdropping. He's like, that woman was my wife!
She was my wife.
And he gets like, he's very, bro,
To this day.
he wants to square up with his, he wants to push her. Then they go to sleep. So then it cuts, now we're back to 6 hours on the river. No blindfolds. They have no blindfolds at this time on the river.
No, they do.
You sure?
This is 5
they're
years
undercover.
later.
They're undercover.
yeah.
They're undercover. I just
Yeah.
wrote no blindfolds. Okay, so birds are in her box, and then she's trying to hit the radio.
There's birds in her box.
Birds
In her box.
Yeah,
She
birds
fit 3 birds in her
in
box. Damn. Jesus.
Under,
Box is a metaphor.
and they're under a cover. The birds start to fucking wow, and I guess like
you hear
there's a
the. You hear
that's
it
when we first
stirring.
realized. That's when I first realized that that's what the birds are for. They hear shit. They hear like the
Yeah.
They hear it, and then you hear ominous sounding music like it's ghosts or some shit.
Imagine that bird keeps like going, oh, it's it, and they take the cover off and it's fucking Pennywise. It's
Pennywise.
like, just
I'd be
over.
happier with that.
Him just standing on the side of the river like, bloop, bloop, bloop.
So it cuts back, and then someone's knocking on the door, and Malkovich is fucking doesn't want anything to do with it. He's like, don't open the motherfucking door, and I don't blame him.
Why would you?
Everyone's like, okay, I'm like willing to open it, but not so quick. Like, chill.
You're like, chill, Wes, ride it out.
Homie is ready to open it up. Like this.
He's
guy's
like running straight for the door, like
you're
he's
a normal human trying to get in. Oh, okay, everything cool. Like,
what's your name? I'm this. Okay, get in.
Sounds good. So yeah, Sandra grabs a fucking shotty and she points up. She's like, open it up.
And John Malkovich says, she's like, move.
Yeah,
she's like holding it, and then they do a whole plan where they block the doorway so they can't see behind the person who's gonna be standing there, so they don't accidentally see.
Yeah, okay. Explain to me how this process works.
So he goes, what the fuck? Oh, Tom.
Yeah.
So Tom's at the door. He's like, hey, Ariel, whoever the fuck the other pregnant lady is. Yeah. She's at the door. He's like, there's a lamp to the left and the right of the door frame,
facing inward.
You know, like when you your front door lights, there's like 2 lamps that like stick up on either side of the door frame. So when you turn it, like the door opens up, there's a lamp.
Oh,
like
so
this.
then it's like a sheet, so she climbs under it or something?
He's like, yeah, drape the blanket across the top, and then get behind it, so there's like a curtain behind her. So when they open the door, she's looking in, she's fine. But when Tom opens the door, if it's behind her, he'll see it behind. Even though John Malkovich would have done the same thing earlier, but. He's impervious.
Okay.
So that's what he says. He's like, put the blanket over, let me know when it's secure, then I'll open the door. So that's when Sandra Bullock's like, yo, move. So then she comes in, and then everybody's freaking out. They're like, what the hell? Oh, yeah. And then, what was it, the Get Out guy's like, are you pregnant?
Yeah,
like, he's like kind of been like, you might be just fat,
or... I thought she was just fat.
That's what I thought originally.
I didn't know she was pregnant.
That's why he said it like that.
Take offense.
That's why he said it like that. He's like, are you?
And then this is the part when John Malkovich looks over at Sandra Bullock like, give me that gum, you don't know what you're doing with that.
And she just racks the shotgun like 6 times and all the shells come out.
And it's like, are we supposed to, like, where does this come from?
Guess what?
Does that mean that you
have
mastered the art of shotgun?
That's the only thing everybody knows about shotguns. That's the only thing everybody knows. You go,
and not every shotgun does that. It's the best part. And not every shotgun does it. There's semi-automatic. There's double barrel like shotguns. There's automatic shotguns.
My first instinct would be.
There's pump shotguns. There's lever action shotguns. There's all.
But yeah, she does that. Tries to look cool, and then the girl.
But that's the only
thing.
In.
And then
John Malkovich is like. She's like, oh, what happened? He asked her. He's like, oh, she's like, my husband's in the military. He's deployed. And then that's when Tom comes popping out of the car. So he opened the door. She comes in and starts talking. But then I just thought of that.
What?
She comes in and starts talking. They're like, what's your deal? And like she starts telling her story. She goes, oh, my husband's in the Air Force. He just got deployed and I'm by myself. And then Tom is behind Sandra Bullock, pops around the corner. He's like, oh, what, Air Force? He says, he's like, oh, I just got out of the Marines. I just came back from deployment in Iraq. So he's just like, oh, Air Force, like, oh, military woman. Like, and he came over, gave her water and shit. And then she's like, yeah, I was so hungry. I had a bunch of food, but I was really hungry and I didn't want to starve my baby, so I just ate all the food. It's like, no, bitch, you're fucking fat. Like, don't make it seem like that. Look at Sandra Bullock. She's not eating all that food. Like, what the fuck? She's like, yeah, I don't want to starve my baby, so I ate all the food. And then, like, so you just went door to door, like, oh, she had the night.
The blind, yeah.
How did she, like,
that's what I'm saying. How do these people find out? They didn't even know this yet. You know?
Yeah.
They didn't know. But, yeah, so then one of the guys starts talking like, he's like, what? I got cameras. He's like, what if we look what's out there and, you know.
But he was saying some other shit. He's like, yeah, through infrared and pixels. That's what he said. Through heat signatures and pixels, we can decipher it through a translator and this is that. Yeah. He literally just goes and looks and watches live security footage of his house and just.
Or was he just trying to sound all sciencey, describing
like he does in every other character in every other movie and show.
In a layman's terms, it was like someone was like so just.
And then did you notice they had to throw that weird thing? Oh, because earlier like the old lady's like, oh, my husband did this kind of law. What'd you do? And John Malkovich was like, bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And then the neighbor was like, oh, unless he's like, he only does that unless he's suing his neighbors. It was like a little jab at him when they're in the kitchen together. And then they go upstairs and then they're tied to the chair because he's like, well, he comes up with the idea and he goes, well, somebody's gonna have to sit here and watch it. Yeah. Next thing you know, they show someone getting tied up in a chair and they cut and it's him. Mm-hmm. Nice fucking plan, buddy.
Was that your plan the whole time?
Was that your plan? Like, or did you hope
somebody?
Why didn't you just go like, I'm gonna go watch the security footage real quick. I'm gonna go see. Like, why would you? If somebody's gonna have to watch it, and end up being you. And why'd you even say anything? You fucking retard. Like
he volunteered.
Yeah, and then you notice the weird little thing. Oh, it's not weird, but you know they just had to throw it in there. And he's like, oh, John Malkovich's like, yeah. He's like, you know, no hard feelings. You know, if anything happens about suing you and everything. He's like, you and your husband are just. You guys are great humans, but, you know, You know, whatever. It's just like random. It's like, what does that have to do?
We just met these characters. We really need this like.
I don't even know that. I don't even know any of their names.
I didn't even know. Yeah, how well do they know?
I know like 3 of their names.
Forcing us to like now. Okay, they're friends.
You and your husband. It's like,
what?
and then later on, it's like his husband's an architect. It's like, okay, like what is that? Like who cares? Who cares why you're suing? None of that matters. The whole lawyer.
I have zero clue on that relationship.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like,
the whole lawyer thing, the whole suing.
Until we were running back right
the whole suing your neighbor thing, and the whole renovation of the house.
Jurassic Park.
Oh, it is Jurassic Park.
And he's in like NCIS or some shit too.
God.
He's
Well.
that's what. Yeah, he's in Jurassic
He always
World.
plays some sort of scientist.
That's why Evan was like, he's trying to sound all like smart and scientific. He's like pixels and fucking infrared signatures and shit. I'm like,
Now
he
he's
just
a gay
watched.
man
That's what I'm
married
saying.
to an
So he's watching.
But none of that. Literally, if you remove the whole architect thing and his house being reconstructed and that whole fucking
Nothing would happen.
Nothing would happen. It had no like doesn't matter. And suing and lawyers, like what does that have to do with anything?
So yeah, so they tie him to the chair, and then he looks at the camera feed, and then it cuts downstairs.
He's like,
and the cute cop girl's like stretching, and MGK comes in trying to hit on her.
He just stands in the doorway watching.
And then
like,
the girl says, "Not a chance," and you know what that means. They're gonna end up.
It's
fucking.
gonna happen
yeah,
now.
Of course.
And she doesn't even like say, she's like already like not even looking. She's like, not a chance. Like looks over her shoulder. And he's like, it's the end of the world. You never know, baby. He's like, you already know. It's like, guess what? Out of all these people here, he's going after Sandra Bullock, the only other good-looking dude, and it's me.
Yeah.
Or Charlie and fucking John Malkovich. Like, who you getting to? Yeah, you're gonna go for the other good-looking dude. Like, come on, it's gonna happen. And I love it in the beginning when they first walk. He's like, oh, a couple of my clients started turning last week. Or whatever, remember?
He was saying, nah,
he's like, yeah, he's like, oh, I saw this shit. He's like, yo, a couple of my clients started turning the other day or some shit. And he just literally dumps a bunch of pills in his hand and starts eating them.
Yeah,
and she goes, you know I'm a cop, right? He's like, you know, police academy doesn't make you no cop. He's like, he's just eating drugs, like, just
Fuck
chilling.
him.
I know. I'd be
What
like,
law?
Guess what? It's fucking, it's every man for himself.
There is no
and on
government
top of that, she's literally in police, like, academy, so she's not even a cop yet. She's in a little academy thing training.
Even that has no play in the movie whatsoever, her being caught. Like,
Actually,
she never
it
shoots
goes against her character entirely.
Yeah, she doesn't seem like she's.
She walks in there, she goes, I'm a cop. Literally, by the next day, she's getting banged and running and stealing cars and like going doing all this shit. And then like, all right,
well,
then
not even that. She's not even doing anything. Like
she never shoots anything or doesn't.
In movies where there's like the one cop person, they like become like they gotta do shit. Like they're like the lead.
That was the lead character though. That was the guy who's like the military. Yeah,
but even still, she would walk
her
around
too.
Why have her a cop?
She did have a. She was walking around when they did the
if
run.
She was a fucking cashier.
She'd be like
at the grocery store, like get out. Nothing would change. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, what the fuck is even the point?
She probably said she was a cop, but we didn't notice she was wearing some sort of, like, police cadet.
She was.
She was.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it has
cadet.
But it doesn't matter.
It was like a little T-shirt and like
but
workout
it has no
clothes.
play. Yeah, I guess you're right. So she's not even like.
Yeah,
really a cop. She was trying to be a cop. She's trying to be a cop.
She had a pistol. Yeah, she didn't even.
Yeah, she was in like a uniform.
Did she have a pistol?
No, she was literally in. She was in workout pants and that police cadet T-shirt. Like she was working out like for like training for that.
And
then MGK said
to get them to open the door.
No, she was doing it. He's like, even MGK's like, you're in fucking police academy. Doesn't make you a cop yet.
Yeah.
You're just training to be a cop. Guess what? World ends. I'm not gonna be a cop anymore. Guess what? I'm gonna do with it. Like I have to survive now. So fuck it. Even if you were a cop.
See it say cadet, but
yeah,
it sure looked like a cadet uniform.
Well, him saying that was obviously to let us know.
Yeah. So it's like she's a cadet. She's not like a real cop. Didn't come up in uniform like strapped up with a squad car and shit.
So yeah, then it cuts to John Malkovich. He puts a mini bottle of lick.
He goes into the construction part of the house. Yeah, and
but he just puts that on his tongue.
He flips the bottle.
Yeah, so no liquid is coming out.
And then puts it back. Yeah, so
like
just like
yeah,
because so it just shows that he's an alcoholic. He just likes the taste of alcohol.
Like,
and you see it comes again and later on.
If that was like his choice, or like.
And then after this,
like John is like, all right, John, go, let's do a take. He does that's like, okay, it's like, are we done?
That's what alcoholics would do, all right?
Yeah.
That's it. And I got to savor this last little bit of vodka for the whole time until the rest. Yeah, it's the end of the world. That's the only alcohol he has at that point. So he's like, fuck, I gotta conserve. I just gotta get a little taste on my tongue.
Did you guys notice how vibrant that blue fucking coat she was wearing the entire movie was? Well, at least
Sandra Bullock?
Yeah.
No, her nightgown and like silk, like it was like a
thing.
weird, like a blue pearl, like it shimmered, like.
I don't know. It made her look like a hooker.
I'd pay to bang her.
Oh, I would definitely pay to bang her.
No, I wouldn't pay to bang her.
Sandra Bullock?
Definitely not.
I would.
What? Pay to bang her? No.
Yeah, like $5.
Let's not talk about paying to beg.
Yeah. All right. So
Suck hand, fuck.
we know Sandra Bullock is listening, so let's not fucking.
She'll probably come here and be like, what?
She's a friend of the show, so
She is, definitely.
We don't want to go. We love you, Sandra. So, all right. So Sandra finds out something, and then Homie is still looking at the live feed. It's cutting back and forth. Oh.
And then he starts yelling at the screen. He's like, come on!
He sees something on the feed. Yeah, then his eyes start to glaze over like he's fucking mad Zerk. And then they hear a noise from downstairs. They go upstairs. He kills himself.
Yeah, he tips over in the chair and knocks his head on
the stone fireplace.
Oh, that's what
yeah,
that
it was a stone
fireplace.
fireplace. In his
Convenient!
office. Yeah. He flips the desk.
The story! To be honest, I knew he was going to do that, so I was trying to think, like, how was he to kill himself? Like, so I was kind of thinking, like, maybe he had like
around.
Yeah, I was. I was like, I was looking for a pen holder, so the pen was sticking up. So, exactly.
Did you see what he ended up smashing his head on? You saw that beforehand?
It was like a
I didn't see it. So
no, because they didn't even show it. Yeah. It was just like a stone fireplace mantle.
Slight bump on the head, a little bit of blood splurt, and then the pool where he laid.
So then it cuts and it's nighttime and like Sandra Bullock's walking around.
She hears like she's in a room. She hears like no. Oh, is that when the girl came in? Yeah, it's when the girl came in. She's like, oh, we're the whole entire movie she's crying.
Yeah, the other pregnant lady wanted to sleep with
next to her. Yeah.
And obviously, Sandra Bullock does not want. You can tell she's making it obvious she does not.
And this girl's weird. Like literally, she's like crying the entire since she came in this movie. She seems like a
13-year-old fucking girl.
She's like my husband. She keeps saying my husband, my mom. My mom took care.
Yeah,
he doesn't care. He wants
to get away with anything.
They did everything for me, and then my husband lets me do whatever I want. Yeah. It's like,
did she even have a southern accent?
No, she didn't. She was just crying and being weird. Had a weird.
Yeah, she was that one Australian chick, the actress.
Honey Boo Boo.
No, the funny one.
Oh, Rebel.
Rebel Wilson. Yeah.
Nah.
She reminded me of her, but like from Alabama.
So yeah, so she's like annoying. She's annoying Sandra Bullock. So
she's like, I read this blog the other day that said pregnant women should sleep next to people because the baby could feel like when the mother's lonely. And Sandra Bullock's like, yeah, that's fine. And she like, so you can see Sandra Bullock has like a thick ass mattress, and this girl puts on like a blanket on the wood frame, and it's like so different. And she's like about to lay down there, and then as soon as she's about to lay down,
it was a full bed at first. What happened to the other half?
And it was cut down the middle. Yeah, I don't know how they got a half mattress, but so then she's about to lay down on this fucking wood frame like a blanket over it, and then Sandra Bullock's chilling, and then she's just like, "Yo, give me a second, I'll be back," and she dips. Yeah. As soon as the girl walks in, it's like, "I'm gonna come lay next to you." Like, all right, yeah, you can come in here. I'm out.
And then she hears something.
She hears creaking and like weird noise.
Like, what the fuck is that? You know, going slow mo and shit like that. Boom, opens up the laundry room. MGK's getting his dick wet.
Yeah.
He's smashing the police cadet girl.
Yeah, well, he was just kind of standing there, and you just see her hovering. And
he's literally like holding her legs. He's like in between her on top of the washer. He had her on top of the washer, and he's like holding her. And then she's like, oh, sorry. Yeah. Shuts the door, and then out of nowhere, Tom's right behind her. He's like,
because he was peeking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's like, oh, jerk on.
He wasn't. Oh, Sandra Bullock's coming.
But where'd he come from? He's like, he's like closing the other door next to her, and then he's like,
knew.
Yeah,
he's like,
he's gonna watch her open it, and he was like, maybe she just wants to watch.
Maybe she'll get home.
Maybe she'll join in. Yeah. Maybe she'll join in. And I can come in too.
Give her my man Dingo.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, that was like, some things you can't unsee. She's like, oh yeah, whatever. She's like, guess I'll finish. I guess I'll do my laundry tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then he's like, huh.
But what I'm thinking is like, if it was the pregnant chick that came in and she was having sex, then I could understand that line. Like the cadet chick is cute. You know what I mean? So I was like, I wouldn't mind seeing her naked, but it's like, so it's like, I feel like they could have been another thing he could have said instead of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Some things you can't unsee. It's like that wasn't a bad thing to see. It's not like they're two slobs fucking. It's like two decent looking people smashing. It's like you walk in, it's like, it's like she's a babe. It's like whatever. It's like,
what do you mean? I want to join.
Oh, something you can't unsee. It's like, who said I wanted to unsee that? Like,
she said you like, what the fuck? You come over here and fucking say something.
You had to come out of nowhere. I would have been chilling.
I was about to go back in until you popped out from the back out of nowhere because you were jerking.
He's like, oh yeah. Then she's like, oh yeah, I guess I'll have to do my laundry tomorrow. And then all of a sudden they're like, and then it's like, you didn't even already do laundry. Like you're just creeping to them.
And then all of a sudden you start hearing mid-conversation.
Oh, like now it's so obvious that they're fucking.
Passed out?
I don't know.
But like before it wasn't so like it wasn't.
They weren't even like
even.
It was like once every couple. Yeah, it wasn't even that much. And then that one.
All right, so it cuts.
Because he came in like 2 seconds.
But he was still thrusting.
He came in, they were sitting there talking, and then you hear, dun, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun, he starts
maybe that was
smashing
second
again.
round or
Yeah,
something.
maybe.
All right, so cut to 14 hours on the river. Blindfolds are on, and they're fucking rowing down this brain.
Sketchy part.
Yeah, then someone
It's
yells
all
out to him.
foggy
You
and
hear
shit.
like, oh my, you hear like, hey.
Hey, you're not gonna make it. Take your
your
blindfolds off. It's
Don't
okay.
it's
I
like
can
the
help.
most-
I'll carry him.
It's like
Hey.
the most obvious shit. He's like slipping it into normal combo. He's like, hey, it's okay. Yeah, it's looking to take your blindfolds off. Yeah, come over here. He's like,
It's
no,
okay,
take
just
your
look.
blindfold off, just if you want to take your blindfold off. You know what I mean?
It's easier. I can see better if you take your blindfold off. It's foggy, first of all, bro. We're cruising down the river. I can't see 2 feet in front of me.
Like
What
the
a
most
blind.
obvious. Right here, bro.
Hey, I'm over here. I'll help you get back on the boat. Let's take it off. Come on up.
You want some hot dogs?
I got food, water. Take your blindfold off.
It's just like every other thing. It's like, obviously he's a fucking psychopath.
It's
you
real
know?
cold out there. You got them kids in the boat. Take your blindfold off. He's getting some.
And it's like, oh my god. It's like,
Jesus.
so yeah, so
She whips out a 9.
yeah, she's ready.
Yeah, the guy's like, hey, need help? The guy that goes,
Bullets
yells,
in
do you need
chamber.
help? Take your blindfold off. Yeah, she immediately like starts pointing into the fog and just starts busting.
And she's like looking around, starts popping off shots and shit.
Just random
Going.
direct, spraying
And,
around.
because they're literally headed right to him. And he sticks his hand out, grabs the gun, knocks that shit right into the water. Boom.
No,
Gun.
They're
she doesn't.
fighting
She
and
still has
shit.
it.
She's trying to, pull her in.
It
and
fell in the
he's
boat
like,
because I wrote it in there that she loses the gun, and then like when later on when she gets off the boat, she still has it. I was like, oh, and I thought about. It. I was like, I wrote it down in my notes
I
that
thought-
she
yeah,
lost.
I
I
thought
thought it fell in the water. Me too. Yeah.
So she's fighting with this dude, and finally she gets her hands on a machete and pulls that bitch out and just starts whacking
Just
and
chopping.
hacking
Yeah,
at
And
he's,
then-
okay, so he's fucking yanking at her blindfold. I guess this
Yeah.
is where it's like super obvious that these people are trying to get.
There's
this.
other people out there that
They're
aren't killing
trying-
themselves
yeah, like
that are
trying
still.
to get them to see
Yeah.
whatever the fuck.
I guess they're like hosts or like carriers of
Yeah,
the.
exactly.
Like people to
Carriers,
force other
yeah.
people to remember because even later on people talk about like they
Kinda
force our
pick up
eyes
the
up and, yeah.
scraps.
Yeah, like
Because
go
after
out and
getting
go
the
out and
majority
get
of
the
the
other ones. Yeah,
population, yeah.
the stray. Go out to get the stragglers out there. Yeah, so he fucking. Yeah, he goes to grab it. They're fighting. Pulls out the machete. She fucking chops him up.
I'm good
Yeah.
now. So he's dead, and then it cuts back to the crib.
No, he says that we didn't hear what he said.
Yeah,
remember?
so
Because we tried to
we're
rewind
talking
it.
about for
Yeah.
we can't
He's
hear
like
it.
holding his neck, and he's like,
Well,
yeah.
he's like, why are we gonna bring it
No,
up?
because
We
he
can't
said
fucking
something.
hear
No,
it.
he said. Oh wait, hold on.
Well, when you guys hear it, let us know in the
Yeah.
fucking
No,
comments. How about
yeah,
that?
no. He's the
couldn't
first
figure out what the
part.
fuck
We
he was
rewind it
saying.
and we
Talk
couldn't hear
about
because he's
what
like
we don't even know what
backwoods
he said.
fucking
He's
hillbilly.
like, Chamoo said.
Moo. He's like everybody must lose.
So he got something
And then he
dumb.
falls
Yeah, he
in,
got hacked in the fucking carotid.
and then he just dies.
So, yeah.
Falls in. They keep going.
So it cuts back, and they're having like a house meeting 'cause they're running out of food. They're fucking like cooking omelets, cooking pancakes. They're like having a fucking buffet. And then
Yeah.
finally John Malkovich, he's like, you guys don't know how to fucking ration.
He looks
It's
at
the
Sandra
fucking
Bullock
having
too.
lumberjack breakfast.
That's what I'm
And they have two
saying.
pregnant women in the house. He's like, some people. He goes,
He
some.
has pancake hanging out for her lip, and it's like, yeah, but you don't know how
He
to
literally
ration.
looks over. He's like, yeah, because some people don't know how to ration. And
Yeah,
he looks over, and Sandra Bullock just sitting there like,
Yeah, you fucking
okay. It's
slob.
like what? She's eating for two people.
And they're debating on a food run. And so they finally decide on going on a food run. They're going to block out the car windows, and they're going to use GPS. And this is where the big question comes. If the cell phones and all this shit doesn't work, how the fuck does GPS work?
That's the reason. Yeah, it's like if phones don't
Honestly,
work and
why
everything,
would
your
GPS work? It's
your
all satellites.
your phone can work perfectly fine.
They
Your
ran
GPS
out
can.
of ideas how to get them to the supermarket.
Okay. Well, fucking that's ridiculous. So yeah, they do that, and they
Lazy writing.
Your GPS,
Yes.
your GPS cannot work on your phone, and your phone can work perfectly fine. You can like call people and shit. Still, it's like if your phone doesn't call, that's like the basic feature of technology is
Obviously
call
that-
people. And if that doesn't work, guess what? I don't think GPS tracking devices are gonna work better than a phone. Doesn't make sense.
They hop in the whip and they're driving. They're running over corpses left and right, and they come to a block because they're using.
he runs the guy's head over. He runs the guy head over and he
It's
goes.
just a speed bump.
It's just a speed bump. You hear,
bones crushing.
you hear mush and bones
And like
crunching.
the car, thank God, is like a steezy whip. They got like the proximity shit where you can
Yeah.
see which direction things are coming from. And then eventually the proximity alert goes fucking haywire because they're coming to blockage and like things are coming from all angles. And then the get out dude, everything's coming from all angles. And the get out dude is trying to he's freaking out.
Fuck
so much,
that, I'm outta
he
here.
tries to get outside.
In the
How
middle
would
of the
that
worst
help
part.
the situation? That would make it worse 'cause
For
he's gonna
everybody.
Go outside.
Maybe he was like, fuck it, I just want to die and get it over with.
Maybe.
You're trapped in
That's a
it.
possibility.
This thing has not like been
He's
physical.
so terrified, he
This
doesn't wanna be
thing,
scared.
Yeah, he's like, fuck it, just take me.
This whole time so far, it has not been physical. It's all.
I know it hasn't done anything.
So you can literally just stand there and just like, okay, and it's telling you just look.
Yeah,
I know you're not real.
It's just weird noises, and it's pushing the car. Like,
Hey, Evan!
It's been 5
Evan,
years.
look at me, Evan! Open your eyes,
Like,
Evan!
when we cut, it's like after 5 years of all of it doing, if you being in a car and it rocks it a little bit and you hear some sound, it's like it must get old after a while. You know what I mean? Like, what do you just don't look? And it's like, okay,
Hey, it's your old grandpa.
he's like,
Open your eyes.
after 5 years, how many
No,
people
you
have they?
fucking idiot.
Right? Like, how
What
many
the
people have
fuck,
they gone
ass
through?
shit?
It's been 5 years, right? Like, I fucking
Hey.
know who's here.
Open your eyes. Look, it's Dad.
Yeah, it's like.
No.
It's like, it's been 5 years, fuckface.
If you were Dad, you wouldn't say open your fucking eyes.
Yeah, it's like, hey, it's me, your dad, open your eyes. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
okay. No, it's
look at
not
me.
okay.
Look at me, look at me. So they dip out and it works fine. They get to their destination. And I guess the thing decides not to follow them.
It crashes up and it goes, and they hit something like, and all of a sudden the GP goes, you have arrived.
Yeah, and they're
How?
How?
How did you randomly just, the GPS takes you straight to the front door of the
It never
grocery
does
store?
that.
Like there's
It takes you out to the other side though.
There when you're like 6
On the
miles
other side of the
road.
fucking
Yeah,
plaza.
like, what the fuck?
The amount of cars that should have been in the middle of the fucking road that
Blowing
weren't
up.
makes no fucking sense.
And you pull up directly to the fucking front. Like,
How many
come on,
times are you
fuckface as fuck.
GPS at a grocery store inside of a plaza with like shit all around it? And guess what? It pulls you into the parking lot. It's like, all right, it's here.
Yeah, it's a pillar. It's to your right.
And then okay,
How did he get out of the car? Yeah, remember the guy's like,
they get. Yeah, it's
he's like, what's that? It's a pillar. We're at the front door. It's
How
like,
did you know it was a pillar?
where did you know
fuckface?
the car stopped?
I'm
First
saying.
Because that's the corner of the building that he jerks off on before he leaves.
Yeah.
At the front door, right
So
on
yeah,
the first
so
pillar.
so Get Out Dude is giving them directions. They make
Mark's
their
territory.
yeah.
Before he locks up every night, he jerks it real quick and
Deters everybody. So they get inside, and then this is when I question this. Like, how do they know that automatically when they're inside, they can take their blindfolds off and that nothing's in there? What is it about inside that stops this thing?
The majority of the windows were blocked off.
That's not what I'm talking about. Though. Why can't this thing just go inside? How do they know that when they go inside that there's not a thing inside?
right.
You have a point, my friend.
You know, there's like
So it's like
let
the
me just
wind?
Take my
Can
shit
it not
off.
go
Huh?
inside?
If this thing
It's
can't
the wind, he's
open
like, oh.
doors,
It can't go into any structure?
I don't know.
No,
That's
cars,
what I'm saying, 'cause everywhere
buildings.
They go into fucking houses.
They go under a blanket.
Periodically through the movie.
They're
What are
under
the
a
What are
blanket.
the rules of this It?
That's what I'm saying. So they go into houses. You know, they start robbing houses for the shit, and they're always.
Why didn't I think of this quickly?
I just did
So
now, to be
okay,
honest.
all that the
Yeah,
whole
I just
time
did
they're
right
like, all they do is cover their eyes, right? So it doesn't matter where the thing goes, as long as you cover your eyes. But they can go underneath a blanket with little holes in it, and they can be
You
perfectly
can see
fine.
light. Like, that
But then they have to like lock the door and like hide in a car while shaking a car around. It's like, why can't it just do that to your blanket and rip your
knock
blanket
it
off?
off, yeah.
It's not physical until you're in a car or a
just so
building and it
weird.
like rattles the windows and shit. But when you're in a car and a building, it's physical. But when you're outside with like a piece of cloth on your
Doesn't
eyes or
matter,
covering
yeah.
you, it doesn't do anything.
So yeah, so they're okay.
Oh.
So they're inside now. Whatever, it's fine. And they start going around. You know, they're doing like fucking.
Like I said, every apocalypse movie where they're like, oh, they find a grocery store, they all grab shopping carts and just run around the store and just grab shit. Every Walking Dead, fucking 28
Of
Days
course, that's
later,
the
like
first thing
every.
I do.
Oh, for sure.
But-
I would literally just tie up a bunch of carts, fill them with
But no, I thought of when you said that.
That's me at Birdbox
All the
looking at
shit
it.
that's in the street
Your
and all the
best beer, if I beat
bodies,
shitty?
the shopping carts would just be all knocked over.
It's me fucking beer if I beat shit out of you.
Before you what?
Give me a fuck. All right, so then it cut. Then John Malkovich is in another fucking aisle and he's getting shitty.
It's like England grocery
face.
store aisles where it's literally a whole aisle of just liquor on the shelves, like not at like a liquor store.
Well, let's pause this just a minute. In this sort of scenario, this not necessarily like fucking mist, whatever the hell it is. Could be zombies, whatever. How good of a feeling would it be if you can just hold yourself up in a grocery store?
And just lock the doors and be like, all right, I'm
I mean, that would be the
chilling.
smartest thing, but I don't know who.
I would
knows.
do it. I was like, yo, fuck
That's
that.
the first thing
I
I
would
would
send
think
one
of.
person back. I'm like, yo, you go back, pick up the other couple people, bring them here.
Yeah.
Or say fuck it and leave everybody
In
there.
that situation, the question is,
I would stay.
In that situation,
I wouldn't leave.
You would stay.
I
Right?
would
You
not fucking leave.
Everybody there.
I don't know
Why?
if I'd leave them behind, but I would plan. to move
That's the
them
dilemma,
there.
but I would not. That's our new place of living. But I also
Yeah.
said to Evan, you have a house with beds and toilets and a stove and
Yeah.
all your like electronics and all this shit. But then you have a grocery store full of food.
Oh, but then
Rather
they
than-
have the crazy guy.
later on. No, the crazy guy wasn't there yet.
Yeah, not yet. So
Not yet. Right. That's
But-
what we're getting to.
So would you give up living in a house with beds, like a nice-ass house with beds and a stove to cook and sinks and tubs and showers, or would you go live in a grocery store with a bunch of food?
I'd probably go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So-
I can make a bed out of boxes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So then they're in
Like I told
John
them, I'd
Malkovich-
make a fire pit. I'd move shelves in the grocery store and put a big fire pit in the middle.
Yeah. So John Malkovich's getting shitty, and Sandra Bullock and Tom.
He drank like
right?
3/4 of a fucking bottle
But he did
in like
2
5
seconds.
minutes.
Yeah.
But then Sandra Bullock and the dude are
annihilated.
flirting, whatever.
He's
and
a
then,
terrible alcoholic.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
insane. He's drunk as fuck, and he calls a meeting in the aisle. He's literally, it took 2 seconds, he's fucking hammered. And it's like the classic
the bottle
over the
was
top.
like this much gone. There's like this much left in the
It's
bottle.
the classic like over the top drunk guy. You know what I mean? It's just too much.
Everybody meeting in aisle 6.
And then what does he say? He's like, "We're gonna make the apocalypse great."
He's like,
again."
we're gonna make the apocalypse great again. He pauses and like drunk
What
stumbles,
the
and then
fuck? Why
the fuck?
it pans over to the guy from
Get Out? The two
Get
black
Out. The
dudes.
2 black dudes in the movie, Get Out guy, and then like Tom.
Tom.
And then they pan to them, and they're both like scratching their head, like looking down at the
Making
floor,
it
like
like-
being all awkward, like really.
Why did
joke.
you?
You
add
really
this in
say
the
that?
fucking
That's
movie?
so stupid.
Why?
Fucking retarded. A drunk
Why
white
is that-
dude
What did that
with a
even
shotgun.
mean?
A drunk white dude with a shotgun saying, "Let's make the apocalypse great again." And then
then
there's just
Flash
2 black
Gordon.
guys that's standing there like, "Are you
No,
serious?"
It's a joke.
It
Like,
sucked in your
why-
shit face.
It was
The
so
fuck?
bad. Like, what the fuck?
So that's happening, and then he's like, "Okay, so here's the plan. We all stay here.
Yeah, he
and we
wants
don't
to
go
leave
back."
everybody.
And they're like, Sandra Bullock's like, "The only problem with that is we're not all fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Like, we're not gonna go back." He's like, "Fuck that." He's like, "We have all this food, all this alcohol. He's like, enough at least to last a year, if not more than that." He's like, "All the shit we have here," and then like they're like, "Nah, we can't do that." Blah blah blah. So then, as they're doing that, they're fucking talking like, "We can't do it. We can't." Then you hear fucking banging on a door. You hear like someone's like, "Hey!"
Yeah.
Fucking banging. They're like, they run to the back, and it looks like a giant freezer door.
Once
but
again, they're ready to open it.
yeah, it looks like a giant freezer
It
door,
did look
but
like
it
a
goes to the
giant-
loading dock. Why would you have
Yeah.
a fucking freezer door to go to the loading
Yeah, I
dock?
was confused.
So then they're like, "Charlie, what is it? What does this door lead to?" He's like, "It's just a loading dock." And he hears like, "Hey, hey." Tom's like, "Yo, I'm opening that shit." He's like, "There's a human back there." It's like, "Fuck that again, dude. Like, come
No, he's
on."
always ready.
He's ready. This time doesn't plan out as good as like they thought it was.
Save everyone over there.
Yeah.
So he does it, and then fucking Charlie's like, "Oh, I recognize that voice." He goes,
Yeah.
"Fish Fingers, Fish Fingers, is that you?" He's like, "Who the hell's Fish Fingers?" "Oh, he just works in the seafood department. He's a little weird, crazy, but he's cool." He's like, "All right." He starts talking, "Oh,
He's cool with him.
yeah, he's cool with me." He's like, "Oh, they set me up. They locked me out here. Blah blah blah. Oh shit." He's like, "All right, we're gonna open the door." So they open the door a little crack, and there's John Malkovich behind him with the shotgun.
Yeah.
Tom, this big, massive, fucking swole dude who can't hold the door closed, and the little cadet girl.
And the birds are going crazy.
The birds start going crazy as the door's cracked open. Then the guy just freaks out and fucking starts smashing the door down.
Yeah.
So this big ass fucking military dude, he's Diesel's. Dude, his shoulder muscles were like.
But this guy is pretty fat.
He's
right?
fat, but John Malkovich is massive muscle
And he's
dude,
got the
and
psycho
another.
rage going. But yeah, I'll give it
Yeah,
to you.
on top of that,
See,
they
he's
should have been able to
pushing-
hold it up.
Yeah, so he's pushing it in. He's trying to get in, and then the Get Out dude is like,
He's freaking out. He's like,
he sees the shit.
I was like, oh fuck.
Then cause
fuck.
he's looking, so he sees the shit.
He sees, yeah, from
With
the.
this was pretty G-Code. He sees and he's like, so he knew he's about to go. So as his last hurrah, he fucking
He's
runs.
like, fuck it.
And
He literally
spears the
screams,
homie.
fuck it, yeah.
Yeah, he does.
He literally, he's like, fuck it.
and he
And he
spears
runs.
homie, and then the door's closed.
They
and then
slam it shut behind him.
outside, then you hear some shit, then you see
They're
a
like,
puddle of
Charlie,
blood.
and you hear like chopping
Yeah.
with like a machete, and then
then-
blood comes out, and then you hear the fish fingers fucking.
Yeah, so it's the dude.
Let me
so,
in,
so
let
Charlie's
me in.
dead.
Yeah, so they know Charlie was dead. They're like, yeah, let's get the fuck out of
And
here.
then does it just cut and they get and it's back at the house?
Yeah,
What
it's
happened?
them. No, it's them like driving for like a split second.
But I'm saying like, how do
No,
they get
it-
out?
Well, they just run to the car really quick.
Oh.
They don't show them going from the back
How
door.
do they get back? No problem.
No, because yeah, like they just show.
It just cuts back to the
It cuts
crib.
into like that awkward where it was like
Yeah.
the first time it was like the front from the dashboard facing back and there's 5 people in the car.
Yeah.
And it's like that awkward one where it's like on the way
Yeah,
back
yeah,
and there's
yeah,
only
they're
4
all
of them and they're all just like sitting there like this. And it's like them just crunching
And
over
they're
it.
back at the crib.
It's crunching and then all of a sudden it's like them in the garage and the garage door shuts behind them and they get out and then Tom like slams the door and they all come in like, whoa, look at all that shit. Look at how much food you got. Oh, cool. No,
Yeah.
the fat girl's like, yeah, look how much food you guys got. And then the old lady's like, where Where's Charlie?
Yeah.
And they're like,
He's dead.
John Malkovich has some fucked up shit, and then that's when Sandra Bullock's like, "You're a fucking asshole!" Maybe she like, screams at him.
He saved our lives.
Oh, she saved our lives, you fucking asshole, yeah. So then, some shit. Then they go in, and
it's nighttime.
people are just munching.
Yeah,
people are just munching, grubbing out and shit. Everybody's laid out. And what was it? That was the scene where it's Sandra Bullock and John Malkovich in the kitchen, right?
Yeah, they're bullshitting back and forth. They're drinking lick. But then, whatever. They don't say much. And then it cuts to, like, the cadet girl. She's sneaking, being slick. And then MGK's right behind her, and they slide out, and they
with bags of shit, yeah.
They're out.
They steal the whip and all the supplies they had just taken.
Not all
of them, but whatever they could
They just
carry.
fit, like, they had, like, two bags in their hands, and then they just
And
jumped
then we
in
never
the
hear from them again.
And that was it.
Whatever,
You never see them again.
I thought the car was still loaded with all
No, because you see when John Malkovich and Sandra Bullock are in the kitchen, right when that was happening, like, the counter's full. Remember I said there was, like, 6 bags of flour on the counter? Like, that's a smart thing, because you can just fucking mix that shit with anything and make, like, fucking little tortilla kind of things.
So then it cuts back to the river. It's been 24 hours so far. Thank God there's no water. My bad. Fucking trying to come on here. And then they hit like a fucking random semi truck in the middle of this river.
Yeah, it's like a dump truck in the middle of the shit.
Where the fuck did this semi truck come from? The middle of the fucking woods.
It's been
Probably the
5-6 years.
and he drove off the road.
What? It's
What
the
do you
middle
mean,
of the woods. There's no road. It's in the middle of the fucking woods.
In the canal, you mean?
You mean
The
that
river?
giant river?
Oh, so
Right.
something fell in and it
You
fucking
mean
fell the
it could
whole
have been like a
way?
bridge over the river, and
It's
the guy.
not.
There's a road.
It's
I didn't
been
see a fucking
24
road.
fucking hours. You haven't watched every minute of them. They
It's
could have
like-
went under a bridge.
They didn't.
You weren't there.
How do you know that there was? You weren't there either.
How do you know? It could have happened anywhere.
I don't know.
It
I
could
don't
have just
like it.
floated
I don't
down the
like it.
fucking river.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
You know what I don't like? You!
Alright.
Leave!
Alright, so then they hit the fucking semi.
It's a dump
And
truck.
then,
It's a dump truck.
no, it's a fucking semi.
It's a dump truck.
It's a fucking semi.
There's a fucking thing that goes over the top of it. It's one.
Okay. They hit the fucking semi.
Dump
and
truck.
The fucking loser ass kid falls out, and he's like,
And the bag.
and with the bag, and he's like flailing in the water. Sandra Bullock pulls him
She's
up.
screaming, boy!
Oh my God, boy!
Boy,
get up here, boy!
Come on, boy!
And then,
Stupid that boy!
and so, boy, get up here,
Stupid that
boy!
boy! Hey, stupid that boy, get out the water, boy!
And then the blankets and shit all fall in with him in the food, and she's fucking livid.
She
She's
picks him up. She's like,
"Hey!"
"Don't worry, we'll get you dry. We'll just grab some of these blankets and give you some of this food."
Some of these, fuck!
Fuck! She starts screaming at the kid. She's like, "I'm gonna fucking punch you in the face," like she said in the beginning. She's like, "I'm gonna hurt you."
Yeah,
And then she hears
wind chimes.
clunk clunk bamboo
Some
wind
bamboo
chimes.
wind chime.
Bamboo wind chimes. Clunk 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 clunk.
So then they pull up. You know, she straps up like a little zip line or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and she walks. She finds a crib.
Fly fishing reel.
Yeah, fly fishing reel.
So
She finds a crib and she goes inside.
It's not even a
Takes her
crib.
blindfold. Oh, she.
No, it's like the
hospital.
hospital, like military, like kind of like a.
She takes her blind. It's like a hospital or whatever, and she's stashing like blankets and all that whatever crap. And it cuts back to the kids in the boat, and the little ones they start fucking like
Girl,
the little girl,
Girl decides to get out and tie a rope around her.
yeah, and starts to go out because she starts getting up right now. Not yet. She starts just getting up, and it cuts back to Sandra Bullock because she starts hearing something, and then like the reel starts moving when she tied up. Like the rope starts moving around.
It pulls the fucking the bed off the
Why
fucking
did
thing.
it pull it? What was this?
It was it.
But why?
So
why
it
is
can only be
now to
it can
pull
be
shit?
physical when it wants to be
That is
physical
right.
and can go inside things and not go inside things.
Exactly. Like why didn't you just turn the knob or go under the door?
Why
Like,
didn't it just go? Yeah, exactly.
didn't make so whatever. So then she grabs her pistol and she's just waiting. She's got it pointed, and then eventually she just goes outside and she starts following the rope. And then, you know, she's
She
walking
trips
so
and
fast,
falls.
She trips. She hears shit. She starts shooting.
Busting slow motion too. It just makes it all of a sudden that it thing just makes it slow motion.
And then
like,
we start. Then this is the first time we
Yeah, I was
see.
waiting to see like a dude, whoever that pulled the line.
That's what I'm
but
talking
there's
about. But it was
nothing.
not. And then the leaves start levitating.
That's what happened. And you see this throughout the
It's like-
movie in the background. Always
Yeah,
like leaves
leaves
levitate when you hear the
levitate. That's how you
noise.
know.
You hear
So
the
then
noise.
the little girl's like hearing the shots, and then she automatically she's like,
Melanie.
something's wrong, mommy, or whatever.
Melanie or
Melanie, yeah, something's wrong.
fucking name
But
is.
she ties this shit to herself, and she starts fucking walking in a random direction. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
just dips.
So, you know, she's walking all whatever ominous. It's all like this and that. It starts getting sketchy. It zooms in on her face. Oh my god, it's so weird. And then fuck, she gets yanked. She's fucking getting pulled.
Fucking
Oh my
sliding
god.
so fast.
She's like running over rocks. Her back's getting. Oh my god. She's
How
getting
did she
scraped up.
pull her that fast?
And then it found out it's Sandra Bullock, so it's nothing sketchy.
That was like a fucking instant. Just
Yeah, it was fast.
it wasn't like someone's pulling hand over hand. It's like instant. Fucking flying.
Okay. Next scene is it's at the night, And then the pregnant girl is like sneakily opening up a door for some reason. Like, why wouldn't you just wake everybody up and say, "Yo, there's somebody at the door"?
Yeah, they let you in. Why are you gonna
Why are you
jeopardize
gonna-
everybody else who just helped you out? Like, I'm gonna sneak, open the door and just let someone in.
Doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So yeah, so then she opens the door and it's like some fucking random ass
English
guy.
dude.
Yeah. So he gets in and the guy starts telling them that like people force them to look and they grab
Well,
you. They force you to look.
doesn't someone who sees him, Sandra Bullock or someone sees him and they're like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah, they start tripping.
Yeah, they pull a shotgun on him. They're like,
Malkovich.
Yeah.
was it Malkovich or Sandra Bullock? One of them are.
I Malkovich.
I think it was Sandra Bullock because I remember her screaming, "Who the fuck are you?"
Well, John grabs the shotty.
Well,
Yeah,
Malkovich
she
fucking
screams and then
freak.
he grabs it from somebody. Remember?
her.
Yeah, because
Yeah, from her.
she freaks out first. She goes, "Who the fuck are you?" And then he's like, "All right, this talk is over." Grabs the gun. He's like, "Get the fuck out now!" Like, all right. So yeah, he tells him.
Wants to go, you know.
Yeah, he tells him that. What does he tell
Otherwise,
him?
go with him. Right.
Yeah.
This crazy story. Yeah, get him. What does he say?
Yeah. So then he's just telling the story about like how wherever he was that some people were trying to force them to look, and he's giving all this shit. And then John Malkovich doesn't want to hear any of this shit. Grabs a shotty.
You hear what he said?
Points
Then?
it at him. What?
Do you remember what he said?
Exactly?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it kind of like plays into like that's what I think. Like it kind of helps me like think about it. Like
What?
he's like, yeah, he's like they're after us. Or he's like they're like it's not like the people don't come after you. Like they just get like seen and they kill themselves. Like when you talk about people after, he's like
Yeah.
the psychos. He's like the psychos. He's like yeah, the psychos from Northwood.
Yeah.
And they're like Northwood, what the hell? What is that? And then John Malkovich is like, that's the insane asylum, like out there. And he's like, yeah. He's like, oh, good thing that they all have hall passes now. He's like, yeah, they all broke in because they're all like. They got released basically because like they got it like there's nobody guarding the fucking place. People went crazy, so he's like, yeah, all the people from the mental institution got out, and that's the people that broke into where he was. He's like, yeah, he goes, they were excited to be able to see, like they were like happy to see the whatever.
Yeah, that's what the psychos.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's like, so like that's what made me think like only certain people in the movie are that guy was walking around. He's fine, he can see, but he's not dead.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking. Like maybe the people have fucking. That are crazy or like having crazy mental problems and
No,
shit.
that guy was a business guy.
Just 'cause
But he was crazed. But he was fucking crazy.
Because of the thing. Okay, whatever.
So yeah.
Yeah, that happens, and then
Bunch of
whatever.
psychos.
John Malkovich is pointing the gun at her. Then the old woman creeps up behind him, smacks him in the head with like a vase or whatever.
Yeah.
He's
Knocks him
knocked
out.
out. Yeah. So the pregnant girl wants Sandra Bullock to promise her to take care of her baby, whatever. They're having a moment. Sandra Bullock's reluctant, and of course she just goes, okay, yeah, and then gives her like a little fucking a little fucking
Beanie Baby clip.
Yeah, Beanie Baby.
was
little
Hello
clip.
Kitty.
It had a little
Yeah.
clip.
Yeah, some fucking whack ass.
Little keychain Beanie Baby thing.
So, okay, cuts back to the river, 38 hours rowing. Sandra Bullock tells him that at one point, someone's going to have to look when they get to the rapids to know where to go in order for them to get there. And, you know, she just mentions this.
She says it, but then it says the quick part of the boy was like, I'll do it.
This is the first time they say it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then...
He goes, I'll do it. She goes,
The
no,
boy volunteered.
no.
Yeah.
Cause,
And she's like, no, I'll decide.
But at this point, you don't know.
Exactly.
Right,
So-
but
so
you
she
kind of
freaks
get a
out.
big...
Obviously,
A big hit
yeah.
right there. She's like, the boy goes, I'll do it. And she goes, no, I will choose. Like, starts screaming, and then it cuts back. Like, it ends with her screaming, I will choose who.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back, and then it goes through a while until we figure out what
Yeah,
happens.
so it cuts back to the house, and, like, Sandra Bullock's on the couch, everyone's chilling, and her and the other pregnant woman is going to labor at the same time.
Simultaneous contractions and birth at the
Yeah.
same exact time. And you remember in the, like, when she came in, like, oh, when do you do?
Yeah.
The one lady's like, I'm due September 1st. And then they're like, she goes, oh, when do you do to Sandra Bullock? She goes, no, October 1st.
like, yeah,
She said October 1st, and then they asked Sandra Bullock, she goes, end of September.
Yeah.
So you obviously know that they're, like,
Yeah.
right next to it.
Same exactly.
So they're the exact same second.
Yeah.
Like, literally, they both have contractions at the exact same time. I didn't know women had one contraction and immediately went into labor.
I know.
And
That
had a
water
baby
break,
like
they
5
were
minutes
in
later.
sync.
They were like, one baby. Oh, we're
Well, not
upstairs.
that. It's usually like hours, I thought, like whenever I hear shit, but whatever.
Yeah, that
They
one
go
seemed
into
like
labor.
super quick.
And the new homie's downstairs, like, listening to fucking Bach, like, fucking checking out drawings.
Insane. Yeah. He
Well, they were
pulled out
listening
a bunch
to
of
music.
drawings from the insane
This is
asylum.
so weird,
It
because
was
where
his
did he
shit.
get
Oh,
these?
it
Where
was
did
his.
He
It was
didn't
his.
come in with a
He had
bag,
that.
did he?
Well, I don't know. He had like a satchel kind of thing. Remember, he was
He
walking
did.
around
I
with
remember
it.
him coming out with a
Maybe
bag.
he
I don't
came
know.
in and left at
Yeah.
the door. but-
He was walking around with it, and then
Oh no, they were like, check his bag, check his bag.
And they didn't?
No, I guess not.
So they didn't see a whole entire stack of demonic drawings that he saw. So then he pulls out more. He spreads them all out on the table.
All of a sudden he just starts.
He starts fucking going again because he's
freaking out and
drawing.
Why now? And the papers when they were spread out on the table looked so nicely spread
perfectly,
out.
even like
they were so
some are drawn sideways, some are drawn up and down. Like
they looked so doing not the drawing, but just the way they were.
The papers were placed symmetrically.
He took care in doing that.
Yeah, so he did all that. He's drawn another one, and
you obviously know that something's about to happen.
Yeah, he hears the babies being born upstairs, and he freaks out, and he's like walking around, and he goes and grabs a bird cage with the 3 birds in it, walks over, puts them in the fancy refrigerator that only rich people would have. Like, it's glass.
I had to ask what it was on that refrigerator.
Yeah, it's a normal refrigerator, but just...
it was a freezer. It wasn't a freezer, it was a freezer.
Malkovich says it.
So he puts it in there, and Malkovich is still in the garage, but yet...
locked in there.
The whole fucking door is glass.
Punch through it.
You're in a garage. How much shit is in that garage? You could throw straight through that.
This
guy's being a fucking psychopath. And you're like, hey, someone open the door.
Oh my god, this guy's trying to kill everybody.
Hey, like,
well, that would compromise the garage. That leads to the garage door. That compromise it.
It's glass, and you can see right through it. Doesn't matter if he broke it or not.
To be honest, that's probably what he ended up doing.
Because he did just pop up randomly. Remember?
So okay, well let's get to that. Okay, so then. He comes up, the dude.
That guy puts some birds in there, and he starts ripping all this shit off
the window, so then you can see through now.
He's like,
and then Tom's walking up like, "What's good?" The guy creeps up, smashes him in the head with like a coffee.
He doesn't hear John Malkovich go, "Grab the shotgun." He put the birds in the freezer.
Oh, wait, what?
He's gonna kill everybody. He's like, "Shh, you're crazy, dude. You try to kick some random dude out of the house that we all have been living in for the past couple months. You try to kick him out. I don't want to listen to you." He's holding his shotgun, just standing at the counter, like looking around. And then the guy comes up behind him and fucking knocks him out.
Can't hear him. He fucking tippy-toed, I guess.
Knocks him out one hit with something. Fucking.
Then he goes up to John Malkovich in the garage, hits the garage door opener, and then John Malkovich's like, "No, you asshole!" covering his eyes. Okay, so this dude's gone at this point. The new guy. He's tripping. Yeah. He walks upstairs. He's like, "Can I see the new babies? I want to look at them."
Show me your baby. He then walks up. Show me your baby.
Yeah, he's like,
"What? No! You come up to me, a random dude we just met last night. We just let you into our house, this house, and all of a sudden you're like, show me your baby. Show me your baby, you little bitch. Show me your baby. Yeah, hey. You show me your baby now.
Yeah, you show me your baby.
So beautiful. I'm just gonna peel all this shit off the windows.
Look delicious. And then he ate the babies.
That would have been a better movie.
That would have been pretty good.
So yeah, he starts looking, taking this shit off, and then
he goes, "Look at the baby." He goes, "Just show him this," and he starts peeling all the paper off the.
Doesn't this look nice?
Look at it. Just look at it. Would you just look at it?
And okay, another thing. Okay, so then the pregnant woman that just had the baby, she looks outside and then immediately jumps out the window.
No, she jumps up. She's like,
but I mean, but still, like.
And then Sandra Bullock was literally like, "Give me your baby for a minute. Come on." She's like literally sitting there trying to get the baby, like, because she knew what was going on. She's like screaming, like, "Give me your baby, give me your baby." She finally, as soon as she grabs the baby, she's like, dives headfirst out the window.
But it's like, how was this guy able to choose when he decides?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That all these people throughout the movie.
But why was he super normal at one time, and then all of a sudden just became a psychopath? Like, what's the like?
Well, he was
already psychopath.
That's what I thought. It was the drawings that triggered it.
That's what I was thinking too.
No, well, the music. He was dancing to music, and then he pulled all this shit out.
It just didn't make sense. It just was fucking ridiculous.
Once he ripped all the shit off out of the living room, and then he looked outside, and it went into his eyes like really. Yeah, but he hadn't been triggered up. He was already probably like.
He needed the urge to look.
Okay, but anyway.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe just because you're a fucking psychopath secretly inside, then you are immune. You're not immune to it, but you don't die.
Deeper things that you were like projecting onto this movie.
I'm saying because the people that pull up later on the car, they're all fucking psychopaths. The psychopaths from the fucking
gang of psychopaths.
The insane asylum. All these people, the guy on the fucking river, they're all like, "Come on, just take your blindfolds off. Come on," and they're all just normal people without blindfolds on, still living without killing themselves. Maybe
it would be those guys.
It's like fucking what's that movie? World War Z, where it's like if you have a fucking mental, like some like a disease or you're infected with some shit, then you're immune.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right, well anyway, let's move past it because I have a question.
That's what I think.
What would happen if the baby looked at it?
That's what remember we were saying. It's too weak to kill itself.
How would it kill itself?
It's too weak.
No,
you can't even do that now.
I'm saying, like, what would happen?
You're gonna open your mouth and breathe.
Like, I really wish they did that. Like, what would a fucking 1 second old baby
Why?
do?
It's that
Bitch is at 6 minutes old. What is that gonna do? What is that gonna do?
What's it make? It's like
try to get his head
and
up?
just launch out of the window.
What is it going to fucking do?
It's gonna roll off the fucking table and land on its neck.
Like, I would have been like, if I was Sandra Bullock, I'd have been like, I'm curious.
Simba, that's your fucking Lion King.
So
just hold that bitch up. What's a baby gonna do? It's not strong enough to stab itself or do anything. It doesn't even know how to grab or move or nothing.
Yeah. So then
how would it kill itself?
So then the guy ends up killing the older woman, killing them, whatever.
He rips her. He pries her eyelids open. And then she's like, as she's sitting there with her eyelids pried open, she just had scissors because she used
to cut the umbilical cord.
Yeah, she used them to cut the umbilical cord. She immediately is holding the scissors and just fucking stabs herself like 6 times in the neck. Classic. She dies.
So then John Malkovich comes up with his eyes closed, Deus Ex Machina, and starts blasting. What did I say?
Deus Machina.
What? No, but I thought I said gun. I thought.
I said blasting.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
he comes in talking shit, and
then
the guy's like, bouncing back and forth. And he's like, hey, he's like, he starts. He shoots once.
He could look at the guy.
But the windows, remember, he peeled. The girl already dove through the window. Right. The windows are all open.
Then he blasts him. He hits him in the arm. The dude's not dead. And then he spears Malkovich
through the doorway, through the hallway, through the fucking sconces, over the stairwell, downstairs to the first floor.
And then, okay, this is okay. I want to have a question on this. This bothered me too. Then all of a sudden, because they fall. Hold on.
I want to hear. I want to hear if you say what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but hold on. So they fall. They're both laying down there, and then all of a sudden, like the guy, now the bad guy, grabs the scissors.
It's like on his finger. Yeah, he's like
whatever. No, not even that. But he grabs the scissors and then stabs John Malkovich. But
they're not murderers.
That's
exactly what you said.
They up until this point,
they're trying to
get proven to kill people.
This whole time, he was literally just prying people's eyeballs open to see outside.
He had the perfect chance to kill all of them, but he didn't. He made them see, but now he stabs them, and he's like, "I'm sorry." What the fuck is? What are the? Doesn't make any sense.
Maybe because he's trying to kill him. I don't know.
But
maybe that's it. But it doesn't make sense at all because the entire time he's like, his whole reasoning is to get everybody to look at it.
Yeah, like he wants them to see it, not fucking. He's like, "I'm sorry."
So he stabs John Malkovich like multiple times right in the fucking. Right under his neck and his chest plate. And I thought that you were going to say... Well, I knew you said that. But... So they flew...
If I would get stabbed in the chest, I would open my eyes. I was like, alright, I'm done.
Yeah, he didn't even move.
The shotgun was still laying next to you. Yeah. You got stabbed. It's going to take at least like 30, 45 seconds to a minute for you to die, probably. There's a shotgun still laying next to you.
Stupid dying fuck.
So, tell me... I just thought of this. Dives from the fucking second-story room... bedroom, wherever the fuck they were, out the hallway, through the fucking railing, downstairs, lands. But yet, they land, and the shotgun lands between that guy and the guy in the kitchen, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
And the gun is in perfect length between each other, but yet they're down the hallway, upstairs in another room.
What are the schematics to this?
That gun just go, bing, fly down the hallway.
It was convenient.
What are they? Literally, the barrel's facing Tom. The butt of it's facing fucking the English dude.
So you're gonna think English dude's got the upper hand with
He literally has his hand on the trigger. His hand is in the grip of the shotgun
and
on the trigger.
Has it on the barrel, bro.
Tom had his finger in the barrel. He's literally like
those hands are gone.
It's pointing.
He's literally holding trying to put his finger in the barrel and pull it towards him.
See it.
And then Evan's like, "You're grabbing the wrong side."
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you hear, boom, boom.
Okay, it cuts to
cuts upstairs, and then here, boom, boom.
And it makes you question. Oh my God.
2 shots. On a pump action shotgun.
Sure did he shoot? Yeah,
there was two. Legit 2.
Yeah, he didn't pump it.
How good? You're literally fingertip distance away. You're like, how do you get 2 shots of a pump action?
You
have to literally reach.
It wasn't like.
It wasn't like
It was the sound of a double barrel.
Yeah, that's what I lit. I'm like, how did they reload?
The sound of a double barrel.
Maybe.
Sound of a double barrel, but it was a pump action because Sandra Bullock made sure we knew that it was a. Remember?
Yeah, exactly.
She had to do that
she
earlier.
does it.
Yeah.
And so it's the same shot. So yeah. So and we of course we know that it's fucking Tommy survives because
he's
they
the
played
military
it so,
guy, the big dude.
They tried so hard to make it seem like it wasn't going to be him. So it's just too much. Like, give it a little nuance.
And then Sandra Bullock's upstairs clenching 2 3-minute-old babies. Covered in jelly,
and then just like that, 5 years later, like,
and then it's like her. She's like,
some fucking progression.
She's like
here.
freaking out. She's like, oh, please, 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 and all of a sudden, like, someone grabs her, and it's obviously Tom. He's like, all right, let's get the hell out of here.
But like 5 years is a long fucking time.
Why can't it be like
Imagine
2.5
when
years?
Babies were fucking 1 or 2 when they couldn't walk. What was it like then? Like what the fuck? That was
They're crying.
Imagine all those diapers. Or what did they do? Shit in the fucking like.
Imagine
sheets?
trying to keep blindfolds on 1-year-olds.
That's what I'm
They're
saying.
gonna be like, eh. They're gonna be like,
food. Yeah,
That's what I'm
you know how hard it is to
like,
keep clothes on a 1-year-old?
Specifically baby food.
They all have routines. They're fucking taking.
They got
classes
bells.
on rocks.
They know how,
Did
yeah,
they get,
clicking
like,
rocks.
vaccines?
Yeah, like what the fuck is like? I need answers.
It's
to
hard to
this
keep
shit.
clothes.
Get polio.
Yeah.
It's hard for a kid to keep clothes on at 1 year old. Imagine you have to keep a blindfold on a 1-year-old for
Going out and
5
getting
years.
Children's clothes constantly. Like fuck.
How? Yeah, what the fuck? I don't even know where I don't even know what state or city they're in
I don't know.
It was very convenient that though they had clothes that fit them.
throughout
Yeah,
the whole
going
5
there,
years,
yeah.
man. You just keep going.
And they look fresh.
And then they have their own crib. They're just chilling. They got tents inside the house so they can like hide out.
Nice house.
They had paint. They had drawings from the kids all over
They
the
had a little
walls.
garden outside that they were doing. I don't know how the fuck. They
Blind
did that.
gardening.
Yeah. What? So okay, then it cuts to Sandra Bullock now, and she's like,
Don't you think they would have gotten like sticks? Blind people use guide sticks.
Yeah.
Why would you get a fucking stick? They just walk around like this for 5 fucking years, bumping into trees.
I know.
Why would you not think?
You
Oh,
might as
that,
well be Daredevil after 5 years. Like,
yeah, exactly. You haven't looked. You only look when you're in your house. So you
Yeah.
go outside. You're like, you're just gonna walk around like this.
What if they were wearing like tiny, like goggle-looking things, but
'Cause you can
kind
kinda
of a cone
see-
on your eye?
You can kind of see
But it
through the
was like
cloth.
a little dot, so you can kind of make out where you're at, but you can't really see shit.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not sure, man.
Every time they cut to that angle of them under the blanket, you can still see
You can
through.
see it in the
You can still
blindfold, yeah.
see stuff through it, but you can't actually see it. So just do like a thinner cloth where you can't really see it, but it's still like
Because the demon is impervious to cloth, but
not HD
cameras
security
don't mean
cameras,
shit.
backup cameras on cars, news, cell phones, social media.
So it's all. So technically, for me, because my vision is terrible, so I can take my glasses off and I'd be perfectly fine.
Maybe like, I can't see you, motherfucker. I'm looking
Oh,
right
that's
at you.
Exactly.
The
But I
one
can
time
see,
good
like,
vision
right here.
backfires.
The lights are.
The one time good vision backfires.
Right. So
I'll have to
yeah,
just,
right.
like,
the
put-
worst
I'll have to
division
put some
better as we
tinted-
find out.
I'll have to
But-
put some tints on my fucking
Yeah.
some glasses.
So Sandra Bullock's like ransacking a house, and then this is where we learn that there's like these other psychopaths.
Two
like,
cars come up and just drift a fucking
yeah, they just come in
cul-de-sac.
and they start drifting around.
sick ass BMW, like red rims
Did
on
you
it. There's
know
like
that
wah,
people
wah,
were
wah,
there
wah,
were
wah.
just drifting and perching for no reason? Like it didn't. It's like just to show us that they were there, but they didn't do any ransacking.
Where are they're
Right,
so
hold on.
far
So
out in the middle
also-
of nowhere?
Also,
first of all,
does the little mist thing that it communicate with these kind of subjects?
they're like,
I know,
I got
how
some
do they
people
know what
come
they're-
here now.
So if it's
What do
like
they
if
do
the
in their
mist
free
could be like,
time? Do they
hey,
have free
the
time?
mist could be like, oh shit, the mist said that there's a bitch at this house.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We got her.
and get her to
Mi-
see.
Fucking it comes over and they're like, yo, we got someone. Hey, as soon as I get her prior eyes open, you got to be there. Boom.
Yeah.
Prior up, it just pops up. Like,
How does this whole syndicate?
where?
work?
How many are there? Where
they
are
at
they?
a spot just drinking beers, waiting for people to come? Are they 24/7? Does this give them like they don't need to sleep? Like they're 24/7 on patrol, driving around.
It's like
Can
Mad
you
Max, like
imagine
they're
that
just
guy
riding
filling
around
up a tank of gas, just sitting there, like that psycho is like.
All day, every
he's, like,
day.
filling up gas, driving around. Like,
Go drive around, drift.
What's their
fucking-
life like? Do they play poker? Like,
It's like Mad Max, like Waterworld shit, where
Yeah.
they're just like pirates of the
their life
land. They
like?
just ride around being
Yeah,
pirates.
they go back to their hideout.
Constantly.
They
That's
go to their
constantly
hideout and
pirates.
they just kind of sit there like NPCs.
And just
video
wait.
games.
They just go off. They have
Go
no
off
thought.
live.
What missed? Oh, what do you say, miss?
Programming says get up now.
Yeah. We go. So okay. So yeah, they whatever. We find them. That's a thing now in this 5-year future, and then it confirms. Now we go back to Sandra Bullock and Tom. They're sitting there talking. Now it confirms they've been fucking this entire time. They go and they start getting down.
That's when she got that little nightgown, remember?
They've been fucking. He's been laying that pipe.
Yeah.
He's been laying that pipe.
So yeah, she got that nightgown. Remember, she went on that little mission.
Oh,
And she
yeah.
tells him about, hey, there's 2 cars that pulled up, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. He's like, all right, no more like solo missions.
You spit on my phone.
But then he's
I
like,
don't care.
Oh shit.
he's picking shit out of the bag.
Don't-
He dumps the whole bag out, and he's like, oh, this, that, good come up, good come up. He goes, why do you have these bicycle bells? She's like, oh, maybe I could think of a secret code for the kids to use for like
They're
the
in trouble.
stress.
I could hear
Think
him.
of that for later.
Yeah, we'll think of that for later. And it's like, okay. So then he pulls out perfectly folded silk nightgown that's been laying in some fucking random dirty
Not
house.
perfectly folded. I'll tell
No,
you.
when he pulled it out,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was nicely folded. But when she grabbed it, she's like shoved it in the bag, and then he
sitting
pulls it
there
out,
for 5
and then he pulled it out, and it was like
Yeah,
folded
yeah.
neatly. So he's like, ooh, what's this? And it looks shimmering and shining like like the softest fucking material you'll ever think of. She pulled it out of like a fucking laundry basket in some random person's house that's been there for fucking 5 years.
Hasn't been touched for at least 5 years. So
imagine just the dust alone.
That's what I'm saying.
Let alone being dry as fuck and hasn't been washed, hasn't nothing. Yeah, you just picked it up and it's like the silkiest smooth. She wore it and then they smashed it and then she's wearing it. It's like, yeah, obviously it looks fucking great on her, but it's like I think that it's been there for 5 years, laying in some nasty ass fucking crib. And then that's when the fucking radio goes off and then they just like meander out of bed like slow as fuck. He puts his pants on.
Why don't you put your pants on, dude?
The fuck
it's
is
you and her.
Video chat, bitch.
It's you and her.
In the side room of your bedroom.
It's not even that the radio was like on the other side of the room.
Go dick out and all.
Yeah.
You just pulled your dick out of her and passed out. Go walk over there, grab the radio.
I want to see your dick.
The first time you've heard anybody's voice in 5 years besides these 3 people that you're with. Anybody there? Anybody there? Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Finally.
Hey, babe, sorry.
Couple sit-ups.
Gets up, puts his fucking his underwear on his pants, walks over, stretches. Hey, how's it going, buddy? Like,
yeah. Like it's normal.
Like it's nonchalant, like someone just called you real quick. Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, so this guy's name is Rick. He starts telling him about how there's like this community down the river of people. And then I'm wondering...
It sounds so sketch on the radio.
Sketchy, but in all of 5 years, how is this the first time
they've been living there for a minute?
Channel?
They've been living there for a minute.
That they've been there in that spot for 5 years.
What?
There's drawings all over the wall.
Community that we find out.
Not
the
Rick.
blind community. I'm talking about the other people.
No, but in their
Rick
crib,
is what he finds.
No,
Rick the blind
with them, Sandra Bullock and them. But in that house that they're in, there's literally drawings of the kids that drew this fucking shit set up in that house. They've been there for a minute.
It says 5 years. The fuck you talking about?
Well, you don't know that they went straight there.
House.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, they've been on the radio for 5 years. The same fucking radio.
That he grabbed at the grocery store.
They've had it for 5 years. Yeah. That blind sanctuary has been there this entire time.
Yeah.
How is it the first time they've had radio contact?
He finally found it.
There's only like 10 fucking channels. I was like a shitload of channels. But still.
I'm saying the blind guy. He finally found the radio.
He wasn't blind.
That's fucked up.
He wasn't blind,
That's fucked up.
Sorry.
That was nice.
But he wasn't blind.
He wasn't blind. Okay, fuck
Rick
it.
is blind?
Who gives a fuck?
He turned around and was like, I'm going to go grab you some clothes. He's like, all right. And just walked inside and grabbed them clothes.
Well, no, he didn't. Some girl brought it.
He walked in, and then a girl came out.
Okay, whatever. Okay,
he
whatever.
lived there. He's blind. Sorry, spoiler
alert.
I don't give a fuck.
The doctor lived there too.
Whatever the fuck. Okay, so then we find it.
Is that the last one?
There's a 4-pack in the whip. I mean, in the car. I mean, in the fucking whatever it's called.
In the fridge, you fucking idiot.
In the whip, the car, the fucking
fridge. Sandra Bullock. Okay,
it's
so
in
then,
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah. Okay, so whatever. The movie's starting to fucking slow down at this point. I can't wait for it to end. I wrote this in my notes. Okay, they start eating. Okay, now they're in the house and they find the stale Pop-Tarts. And then remember when they start eating them. The sound
it's not like you're eating like Pringles.
But not even if you're watching a TV commercial of chips, you know the sound they make to make it. It sounds like, isn't there like laughing like?
It's like somebody like a sound bite of somebody crunching a chip like on
like a Lay's commercial
like right
movie.
there.
It's like, oh my god, it's just so fucking bad.
Yeah, it's literally like someone took a soundbite of them crunching like 7 Ruffles chips right into our microphone right here.
I want popcorn right now.
Popcorn?
Yeah. White cheddar popcorn sounds fire.
I have popcorn.
Ooh, I don't want to.
Make some after.
All right, so then all of a sudden a car skirps up. And
you hear the cars again. You hear the same. She goes, oh, "It's them."
But this time they decide to come up and like they break a window.
Last time, no, they started shooting.
That's
they just shot
saying.
it.
Well, yeah,
how did they even know they were there?
Know. Why last time did they just pull up and just
drift around and then dip?
This movie doesn't make
Nothing
any sense.
makes sense.
Things just happen. Things just fucking happen.
So this time they skirp up. 5 people hop out, and so apparently straight psychos. They all jump out. No blindfolds. They jump out of this fucking BMW, rims on it and shit. Like they're just coming up. Fucking skirp out, jump out, and they're like,
why
"Hey!"
is the car souped up decent? Imagine being a psychopath trying to murder, like do this thing. They're like, hold on, wait, let's make a stop at the. I need to get 24s on my fucking.
Hey, bro, let's ride around so I find a crispy whip. I'm gonna come up with some parts. I'm gonna fucking fix this car up real quick. It's like you can die in like 2 seconds. So they jump out and they're like, "Hey, is anybody in there?" And start yelling and screaming and shit, and they just start shooting at the house. Like,
yeah.
How like?
How did you know? The miss spoke to them.
The miss is like,
shh.
They're in this house. They're eating Pop-Tarts that are 5 years old, and they're probably dust.
You probably heard the crunching.
That's exactly what it was.
So yeah, so whatever.
They start shooting. They run to the back, and he's like,
Bullock and the kids slide.
He's like, yo. They run to the back. Guy's like, yo, dip out the back door. I'll hold him off.
Yeah.
She freaks out. No,
Classic
family, blah blah blah. He pulls his fucking necklace that he got in Iraq, and this
Classic.
is that. I love you. Take the kids. So he runs. This is what's dumb. It's like at this point of the fucking 5 years in, there's 5 people standing outside with fucking a bunch of guns, and you know. They don't have blindfolds on. They can see you perfectly fine. You don't know where the fuck 5 people are standing, and they just pulled up. You walk out there, you're like...
He literally walks outside.
With a blindfold
on. I'm happy you said that, because this is the problem I had.
All right.
It jumps 5 years into the future, but they don't act like they have lived for 5 years.
Their skills haven't adapted.
They have not grown at all.
They're kids. The kids can hear rock clicks and fucking bells and shit, but these people are like...
They have no tactics. They act like
5 years of being blind.
After the first
5 years of being blind. I guarantee you can sense your way around, and you can hear your voice. I can hear your voice. And like you're right there. You're right there.
Your tactics wouldn't be. I'm gonna go outside.
5 years of no.
I can see with a fucking gun pointed out.
A pump action shotgun. They got pistols and machine guns, and you're like,
this is fucking terrible, right? It's like, what the fuck? They'd be smarter than this by now.
Yeah. Your senses would have adapted.
This is the first time they've seen these people.
Daredevil.
This isn't the first.
If you went blind today, and 5 years from now, I guarantee your senses would be fucking insane.
But this isn't the first time they came across these people, right? They know this has been a thing for years, and so it's like this is your way of dealing with them after 5 years.
So at this point, I'm saying like, all right, he already
died the first try.
He's already like, all right, He's like, I'm gonna go like hold him off, and you guys dip. So that moment right there, he's like, I'm probably gonna die. Yeah. Let them survive. Why walk out with a fucking blindfold on? Just walk out there and be like, hey, I'm coming out. Don't shoot. Boom, 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 boom. He shot 4.5 out of 5 blindfolded. Yeah. He could have walked out there non-blindfolded. Went boom, 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 boom. Shot all 5.
He
put the blind.
2 of them.
Yeah, he shot 2 of them blindfolded.
2 of them blindfolded.
Did he? Oh, and then he came back, shot 2 more, and then the other guy.
Then he got shot. He stumbled. Then he was like,
took his blindfold.
Take my blindfold.
Why didn't you just literally hide behind that door in the bushes with your blindfold off like a little bit and be like, boom, boom, take somebody out, take somebody out, and then be like, all right, blindfold.
He's a very stupid man for
killed everybody else.
You're smart for 5 years, and you're a military dude, and you can do all shit.
A military
and you're like,
guy plus being in this environment
for 5 fucking years.
Did you guys know that Keith Jardine was one of the guys?
I don't even know Keith Jardine.
Keith Jardine? UFC fight.
One guy looked mad familiar.
He was one of the...
The big beard.
With the that was him?
That's Keith Jardine.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so then...
I didn't even notice that.
Then Tom...
Keith Jardine fan.
So then Tom murks everybody. There's one last guy left, and then Tom ends up seeing this shit, but thank God he's such a G that right before he turns, he's able to pull that pistol up and blast the dude right in his fucking chest.
Yeah, his eyes are turning and shit, and he's like, oh, fuck. And he sees the guy,
And then after like 6 or 7 shots go off, after this shot, it cuts to Sandra Bullock, and then she hears it. She stops in her tracks. There's a classic, like, stops and hears it.
Alright, so Tom got shot. He shot 4 people.
Yeah.
Then
but the shot
he shot 5 times because he shot 5. He shot the dude who was walking after Sandra Bullock. He already shot him. So that's 5 shots plus him. That's 6. That's 6 shots already. Then he gets fucking turned into the whatever. Shoots that guy. That's 7 shots, and then he fucking blows his brains out.
Yeah, exactly.
There's 5 people and 1. Right, 5 people pulled up and Tom.
Yeah.
8 shots later, and then she's like,
finally turns around,
and then the last one's like,
that's Tom.
That was Tom blowing his own brains out.
She knows, like that's Tom.
8 shots. There's 5 people. 6 people. Like,
my big question about the whole movie is like, why couldn't they just like quick blink, just like, whoop?
Yeah, I feel like the only really quick.
Just deke the demon.
Oh, you do the one of those where like you like have your eyes like half open.
Yeah, you're just kind of looking through your eyelids.
Bro, the blanket had like the same amount of vision that I could see right now when they had the blankets on. I could easily walk around all my life like this if I really had to, and be like.
So then it cuts back to her. She's crying. Now she's all alone. Yeah, now she's all alone. And now we're back.
Why don't we just smoke a bunch of trees and we just walk out like,
Yeah.
So now we're back to the beginning of the movie. It's the first scene that we walked in on. Sandra Bullock telling the children, whatever, all this bullshit. Now it cuts to 42 hours on the river.
John Cena's
in this movie? 42 hours into this movie because it's long as fuck.
Hold on.
John Cena's in this movie.
Okay. But all right. So the boy keeps So now we get back. Yeah, we're on the river, and then they start talking about how they're gonna have to do all this shit again. And the boy keeps volunteering to look, and then Sandra Bullock keeps saying, like, really forcefully that she'll decide.
That was a flashback bit.
No, we're back. No, it's not. This is like when it's about to happen, like when they're there. And then the little girl at this time, like,
finally gives in.
Finally says she will do it, and then it's just dead fucking quiet. It's just
she
fucking
starts crying
dead
and like panicking and freaking out.
And then Sandra Bullock just goes, all right, nobody's looking. They're just gonna go and they're gonna fucking wing it.
They're gonna hit these fucking whitewater rapids in an aluminum John boat with fucking wooden oars, blindfolded. So you couldn't even do that in a fucking actual whitewater rafting raft with vision, like we're actually looking.
That just goes to show how hard it was and how much she had to fight to survive.
She's a fighter.
Fighter.
All right, so they go down the rapids, and then of course the fucking the boat tips over. So then Sandra Bullock is like flailing in the water for a little bit, right? She's in there for at least a minute, and then she's screaming out, and she finds the kids, but luckily they're just.
She catches boy holding onto a rock in the middle of the river.
She just happens to. Well, she was just flailing everywhere, but he just mystically.
He's
never
there.
Swam
she's
ever.
She's up here. The boy's here. She drifts into him, but yet the girl is all the way half a mile
shore.
Already just laying there ringing her bell.
It's safe to believe that they have never swam before ever in their life.
5 years they've been blindfolded outside.
Fucking swim.
Well, they kind of didn't swim because the boy landed on a rock and the girl landed on the shore.
But I'm just saying they wouldn't even know the idea of like staying above water or even like doing.
So
anything.
that whole scene, right? Sandra Bullock's drifting underwater, bobbing back and forth. Only one who knows how to swim because in the 5 years, I'm pretty sure they'd take him out blindfolded.
Maybe the kids are survival prodigies.
Maybe.
But they've never been like, all right, you're blindfolded, I'm going to throw you in the water.
But I'm saying there's not
She's
even a
up
scene.
here.
There's not even a scene
nothing.
of them flailing. It's Sandra Bullock flailing,
kid on the rock,
girl on the
girl
shore.
way down there.
Not even a scene of
how did she get from
like a POV or something like.
How did they get so far apart, and then how did the girl drift that far without drowning? In that whole point,
Darwinism.
A 5-year-old girl from the distance from where Sandra Bullock was, and she got out of the water and then walked down, and then she walked down the riverbank with the kid for a minute, and then found the little girl. So that girl drifted from there to there without drowning. She's 5 years old. If I threw my niece into the water, she probably would drown in. I would probably drown in that.
What if she went to the school for mutants?
I'm gonna stick you.
You're a fucking mutant.
I know. All right, so luckily, right when they where the girl landed on the shore, thank God that's where they needed to be. They start hearing birds, so it's really serendipitous that fucking girl that they tipped over. Because honestly, they wouldn't have found this spot if they didn't tip over. Gee shit, they would have kept fucking going.
Oh, they're blindfolded. They would have made it all the way down.
So thank God it just fucking.
But the guy's like, yeah, go down till you can't go anymore. And then remember he said that.
So make sure you die and that the captain
he circled.
Go over.
Remember he said on the radio, and the first time he heard him, he's like, go to the Whitewater Rapids. And then you get to the end where you can't go anymore, and Tom circles literally the center of the river.
Can't go anymore.
The river's here, and he circles here, and the river keeps going.
He has a map, you'll be able to use it.
It didn't say anything.
Fucking idiot. You
can't see.
Fucking dumb fuck. That's why you're dead.
You're fucking dead. You're dead.
All right. Where are we?
All right, capsizes.
They capsize.
She doesn't want to sacrifice the kids.
They hear the birds. They're following the birds.
And then Sandra Bullock busts her ass
falls
on
down the hill,
and she falls
knocks
down
herself
a hill,
out.
Knocks herself out.
She's hearing shit at this point. For some reason, now shit starts. You can hear shit. Now shit's like,
now it's
hey,
talking to you.
Look over here. Hey, oh my God.
Melanie. Just look at me, Melanie. Come on.
Why though?
It's Tom who's dead. I'm definitely gonna listen to that.
The mist knows they're near sanctuary.
That's what I'm saying. It's so stupid. It's only.
It's fear and random shit that just comes out. Melanie, just look at me. Huh? Tom just blew his brains out. Why would I listen to this thing?
Yeah. Why are you even freaking out? What the fuck?
Obviously it's this demon. Why would I take my thing off?
You've been going through this for 5 years.
It's me, Tom. It's me, Tom. Take your blindfold off.
Knock knock joke for 5 years. You fucking heard it already. What the fuck else?
It's yo, Evan. You know I'm dead. And I come up. Yo, Evan. It's me. Take your blindfold off. Take your blindfold off, Evan. Yeah, you're dead. Why would I
this is so
I know you're dead. Why would I even listen to this? So stupid.
Yeah, we already said she trips, falls down the floor.
And then the kids just randomly we're gonna forget everything that happened before, and we're gonna wander up
randomly.
She's been screaming at us saying, "I'm gonna beat you if you do anything I don't tell you to do." And then it's she fell down the hill.
Walk off.
All right,
they're hearing voices too. I'll give him that. But then Sandra Bullock walks up and she finds the bell on the floor.
She happens to literally get right to that.
Why would you drop the bell on the floor? Because we find out they're perfectly fine. Nothing's wrong with them. They're not crazy yet. But yet they.
The girl dropped. The boy had one. The boy still had one.
Oh, because
the girl dropped hers.
Oh, because she was scared.
Yeah, she was scared.
But even still.
Because she was scared because the Melanie voice was like scaring her or some shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, how did she fall down the hill, trip, get knocked unconscious, roll down the hill, and just walk straight back perfectly up, find the bell laying on the ground? And I'm like, she's literally like, you see the bell on the ground, she's like going like this, waving her hands, and I'm like, watch, she didn't touch it. She goes, puts her hands straight on top of the fucking, straight to the bell. It's laying in the dirt, she goes, straight to it. And she's like starts freaking out, finds the boy, and then she's like, thank God, I found my son.
Girl?
All right, note that she has the ringer in her fucking hand.
The girl's ringer. Okay. Girl's ringer. The
boy
boy has his ringer. That's how she found him. But you could secretly tell because at this point, I don't know if we found out.
Oh, the two kids had rings of their own.
Yeah, because the boy was ringing his when she found him.
Fuck, dude, I thought
because she was screaming.
Had a ringer.
No, they both had him. Because the boy was ringing his. I'm like, wait, how does he have hers?
Bullshit.
So she found the boy, but then, like, at this point, we're finding fucking.
I have those too.
We're like, we found out that like secretly like going on and on that like hints at like that the boy is hers and the girl is the other girl.
It was
at this point, in the movie, but I've
the
not
sacrifice bit. That's where you got
the sacrifice bit. You really found out why, and then before that with the toy giving it to their kid and all that shit. So that's why she named them boy and girl. She didn't want the one girl to figure out like, oh, your mom's dead, like blah blah blah. So she didn't name them.
Your mom's dead.
So that's why she didn't sacrifice the kid. Then she gets the boy and she like hugs him like super hard. She's like, oh, thank God I found you. And then she's like, fuck, there's another kid I gotta worry about.
And then the kid starts telling like, oh,
she's scared of you because he hears the voice. Like,
and then she starts talking about the story.
And starts making up random shit.
And if that was me, I would be like, no, that's the fucking missed thing. Like, you're trying to get me to come to that.
I know, like, she's making shit about the story.
The guy's like, I went to the top of the tree and there's a bird's nest. She's like, he saw thousands of birds and hundreds of kids. Why is there hundreds of kids at the top of a fucking tree? And a whole family that he's never met before because he was a kid at the time of this story.
Yeah, like, so I guess, and like...
Isn't it Thumbelina that had the house in the tree?
I don't know.
But, that's not what they were
Tom, remember the story? He's like, me and my friends climbed this huge oak tree.
Yeah, that was the whole thing.
But why would he see her and these kids that...
She was trying to say anything to get the kid to come.
Yeah,
but then, like, this all turns out to be, like, the whole, like, oh, she just needed to learn how to be a mother, or something. Like, this whole thing was, like, now she learns the value of being a mother.
Passionate.
And, like, that, like,
that's what the guy said. He was like, they need a mother. He said it multiple times. He goes, they need a mother.
Yeah, and, like, so that,
you didn't even name them yet.
All she do is figure out how to be a mom, and now the kid comes running back, like...
5 years later.
It's like,
oh my God.
Yeah, it's like,
this is my son, but I have feelings for that kid too. Like, no, this is my kid. It's like you just felt 5 years later, you realize like you grabbed your kid and you're like, damn, like you know, like that kid. I feel like you mother instincts against the other kids. You raised it for 5 years.
The scene just felt so it's like it's really because
and then she's like, come to me, and the girl's literally right there.
Like change from 5 years. Like they didn't change as people, so it felt like it was just one scene to the next. So it's like this meant nothing, but it's like. Took 5 years for this, like what was going on? You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
As a kid, like imagine from 2 minutes old till 5 years old. Imagine how hard it is to raise a kid, and you're so frustrated, like holding this kid, like
it's like
come on, like you deal with the 2s, 3s, 4s, all that shit. Like a kid, like what's this, what's that, like talking to you nonstop. Like you haven't grown attachment to this kid in 5 years, and you still call it girl, and you're like. Yo, I'm about to throw this girl out in the fucking river real quick. 5 years it took you to realize this shit? Until she's about to die and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Now I feel like a mother.
So whatever. The wind is fucking chasing them, mother of God.
Now it's going after them. Now it's falling into
the... I don't get it. Now it's a thing. Now it's like a fucking predator. Now it's like a chasing them.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like, now it's like your personal demons like going after you. I don't know.
Like, all right, bitch, it's been 5 years. I'm tired of this shit.
I know, it's been 5 years.
Full force.
So they come up to the house, they get in, and it turns out to be a school for the blind.
They're banging on the fucking door, screaming for a minute. Like, and they just open the door and they just let them in.
She's like, just take the kids. Just take the kids. They open the door and she runs in real quick. Yeah, like, she didn't just like try the kids first to see if that's why. She's like runs in. Like,
she jumped in first and she's like,
yeah, it's like,
boy, girl, get in here. Like she ran in first. Yeah. So then they go in and they're like, Rick, and they're like, they're smart. They are smart. That they fucking immediately, like, it's black in the room so you can't see their eyes, so they can't really see, because apparently sometimes you can look at people in their eyes and get it, or sometimes you look at shit in the air and you get it. So then when they had it was all blacked out, and they immediately shine fucking bright-ass flashlights at their eyes, so you can't see my eyes, but I can see yours. So they're like, check everybody's eyes, blindfolds back on, all right, you're good, bring you inside, then you'll meet the guy. So then he's like, okay, we'll walk around. He's like, it's safe. You can take your blindfolds off. That's what everybody's been saying this whole time. I was like,
how do you trust this?
Take your blindfold off. Come on, nerd. Like, everybody said that so far. So then Sandra Bullock just whips hers off like it's straight. I'm like, at least keep the kids on at this point.
Well, she did.
Yeah.
So she left the kids' ones on. She took hers off, like, slowly opens her eyes and sees the guy. And he's like, oh, you're Melanie. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
Rick, yada, yada,
I'm Rick,
yada.
yada, yada. He's like, oh, come this way. He's like, I'll show you. Whatever. What did he say? He's
I'll
like,
show you around.
yeah, he said some shit. He
Doesn't matter.
goes
You
outside.
find out Rick is blind.
Yeah, whatever. They're blind.
No, I don't think I don't.
Who gives a fuck? There's a blind fucking community.
Because that's what he said.
Who gives a fuck if he's blind or not?
Because there's multiple people that aren't blind there.
Who
He
gives
literally
a shit?
says it.
No, I'm saying the reason why they survived is because they're blind.
Yeah,
The
no,
doctor's there, her fucking
So it's a
maternity
big
doctor,
point
her
to bring
OBGYN.
No, but who cares if Rick is blind?
He's not, though.
But who
He
gives a fuck?
He's
Doesn't
not.
matter.
He's head blind man.
I'm saying it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter if he's blind.
I'm pretty sure they don't in charge a blind guy to run an entire school of blind people.
All right, Evan's offended.
Have you ever heard of the
Keep
phrase?
going.
No, it doesn't fucking matter.
Have you ever heard of the
What
phrase?
What do you even talk about?
Have you ever heard that phrase?
Just end the
The
movie,
blind
this sucks.
leading the blind. Why would they put a blind guy in charge of a school of the blind people?
That's true.
It's retarded.
Because the people who could see killed
Bro,
themselves.
I just want to end this fucking movie.
He literally is like, we have all these birds here to
my
help
God.
all of us that can still see. And then there's people with dogs and canes, and then there's other people. He's like, I'm gonna go get you some
Yes.
clothes.
Yeah,
Turns
did
around
Bob
and
kill himself?
I don't know.
no, because she
why
saw
he's
the.
so lucky.
There's animals that don't. Yeah.
No, I get
Oh,
that.
see, I'm safe. I got
Of
Jack
course,
there.
there's people here that aren't blind and blind.
Yeah,
It doesn't
because the
matter. I want to
doctor's
end
there.
this.
So they walk in, get him some clothes, and the doctor comes over and she goes,
They see the
"Oh
doctor
my
come
God,
over.
you're my doctor that was
5
supposed
years
to
later.
give birth," and she's the
I
only.
remember your vagina.
And then she like
At this-
triggers her to do this. Like,
At this point,
make names.
If you
like,
if you're dumb enough and you watch this entire
5
movie
years.
and you haven't realized that the boy is her son, the doctor's obviously the one who is the only one who knew she was having a boy when the ultrasound happened the day it all started. So the doctor comes over and like you can see her like looking at the boy like the boy.
yeah, whatever.
So she looks at him and like starts talking to her. She's like, "Oh, whatever." She goes, "What's their name? What are your names?" And the girl goes, "I'm girl." And she goes, "What's your name?" "I'm boy."
Yeah.
And she goes, "No. You're
And the
fucking
doctor-
Ariel and you're Tom."
But like the doctor's thinking like it's been 5 years and this chick still has this issue. Like after
She still
all the
doesn't
world
give a shit
apocalypse
about-
problem, like that this is carried on for 5 years and that it took this to
She goes,
wrap this
"Wow,
up. Like,
I should've really
oh
gave
my
you an
God,
abortion."
My doctor that I knew for X amount of months.
You were about
now
to
I
birth
see-
this kid 5 years ago. I was a
5
week.
years ago,
You
like,
gave me an
so many
ultrasound. The
things that
dance
happened.
started. This whole
Yeah.
shit happened. I walked out of your office and shit went crazy. And then
Now,
next thing I
thank
see
God
you,
I see you
5 years
triggered
later.
me.
Oh man, when I walked out of that
Things are
office,
really full circle.
she walked out of that doctor's office. She's like, here's the thing for adoption. Please
Yeah.
get rid of that child because you're a psycho. Like you don't want this kid. 5 years later, you survived this entire time with your child. What's your name? Boy.
Yeah,
God, you're a piece of shit. Just
So,
leave
yeah,
your
she
kid
names
here.
the
Like-
shitty ass kids after the mom and then fucking Tom.
and
Whatever.
Tom. And the kid
Okay.
goes, "Tom? Like the guy that I've been living with
Yeah.
for 5 fucking years?"
Oh my God! And
Why
then
do you,
okay,
like-
Sandra Bullock fucking stares off into the distance, and then
They let
movie's
the
over.
birds go.
Let the birds go.
The
stares
kids run off
into
and
the
go play with other kids, and then the movie's over.
Fucking
The movie was
finally.
too long and too slow at the end.
It's fucking
God,
9:30.
Took
I've been here
forever.
since like 4.
I know. All right, so let's go around and give our fucking
5
last-
hours.
Yo, okay. Your rating and final thoughts.
First time I watched it, I thought it was a good movie. Because I wasn't like actually like,
Yeah,
holy
yeah.
fuck, because I was literally at someone's house and they were like,
Yeah.
"We're watching this movie, you guys want to, just hop in?" So we're just chilling, watching. I was like, holy fuck, this movie's insane. Like, I don't know what's going. I didn't see the beginning. I didn't know what was going on. It's actually like I thought it was a good movie. This time around, holy fuck,
What do you give it?
Jesus Christ. An average between the first time and the second time, maybe like a 6.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was good the first time, crazy retarded the second time. So I'm like, yeah, in the middle 6.
Yeah, that's exactly what I gave it. I gave it a 6 for sure. Now, the enemy thing, mist thing was stupid as fuck because it really didn't explain
And
how it worked. And what
Rules is made up
The
as the
rules
story
need to be
progressed.
established
Yeah.
because I don't fucking get the story in the scenario and how things work. So like when random shit happens, it's just fucking weird. Though I do like the whole post-apocalyptic kind of aspect of the movie. That was really dope. I enjoyed that. But yeah, I get. And Sandra Bullock, I think she killed it.
No, she did
really
great.
good. I think all the actors did really good.
It was good.
But yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part. But as far as the villain thing and that whole explanation, that just dropped it down to a 6. So
Yeah.
that was a 6 for me.
That's funny because I'm gonna give it a 6. I think I'm gonna
That's good.
because I was entertained.
666.
Yeah. Oh,
It's the depth
shit.
mark of the beast.
because I was
Nasty Nate.
entertained in the beginning and then it slowed down, but it was entertaining at time. But then it's like a remake of The Happening. And it's like a classic apocalyptic movie. Nothing happened that was really that different than anything else. But I was entertained and it was well acted. I thought.
Yeah.
But yeah,
for sure.
random things
had
just
good
happened.
good actors in it. Like
The actors
not
were good.
shitty, cheap actors.
No,
Even MGK, he had like 5
he didn't
lines.
do bad.
He
I
didn't
didn't
do
yeah.
think he did bad at all.
I thought he
And-
played his role, his part.
Yeah,
very well.
Yeah.
just like a sketchy drug
Okay,
dealer,
no, yeah.
whatever, random dude.
Looking dude
But-
with tats and
Yeah.
gets bitches.
But yeah, so it's the end of the world, so it's not giving that much credit. But
wanna see his
all
other
right,
movies.
so
Got
I'm gonna-
bitch.
yeah. So all right, yeah, that was
he
fucking.
dipped with the bitch in the whip.
I know off rip they just like.
They're like, all right. She probably. That's what I was saying. I'm like, she probably was like, yo, we're in the grocery store, and John Malkovich's like, fuck
Exactly,
this, yo,
yeah.
leave everybody back at the crib. He's like, yo,
He's
fuck this,
sketchy.
grab a bunch of
See,
shit, get in the whip, and we're sliding. Like, I don't care.
That leaves it open for a sequel.
Oh gosh, let's hope not. But all right, so all right, that's fucking what did we just watch? Nice fucking movie. You guys can't fucking fight.
It's the Birdbox.
Birdbox.
Birds in your box.
That is a
Birds in your
stupid fucking name for
Nice
this
name.
movie.
Can't fight. I
All right,
fucking
yo.
hate you.
Let us know what the deal is.
You're
You're a pussy.
yeah, can't fight.
What's up?
Fuck you.
Jiggle my timbers.
Yeah, if you're still listening to this, you're a bitch. Peace.